did last time.
Did you see my message about uploading? Do you need to do that, or do I? Can I?
No,
just
because we usually cut this stuff out, don't we?
No,
Oh, no, we don't. Okay,
no,
yeah,
we
I can
don't.
just upload it then.
No, yeah. I'm gonna need last week's, and I'm gonna need this week's.
That's fine.
Okay.
We're live again.
Thanks.
Thanks, Stefan.
Recaps. We have them on Discord. Sean writes them every week. We have one for every episode of our second campaign, Adrift in Aldhalor. We have one for every episode of Season 2 of our first campaign. And we have a 2-pager for Season 1 of our first campaign. So come join us on Discord if you haven't already. And join us in Paradise on Blue Sky, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, are you officially on Thursdays now, Sean,
Yes,
for Relaxing in
We've
Paradise?
done it 2 weeks in a row. That means it's official.
Woo!
Well, 1 week we did a Wednesday, 1 week we did a Thursday, but it's officially on Thursdays.
It's officially on Thursdays. So
Yes.
Relaxing in Paradise. My husband has been featured the last 2 weeks playing Baldur's Gate.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to jump back in, Shannon.
Yeah,
your character's
I
taking a
know.
burn in a spot in our party.
Excuse me.
It's because we can't kick you out of the party. You're permanently a part of it.
Great. You're fucking welcome.
I'll play
take
Shannon's
over.
character.
It's
Yeah, I'll jump in,
Saskia.
depending on
so
what it is.
I made Saskia, so you have to play a warlock. Although, for some reason, and I'm really mad about it, I picked Eldritch Blast, and then something got fucked. I did, Sean. I did. I
That's not how
picked it.
games work.
I did.
No, you know what? I'm gonna. Shannon's right here.
Is it
I had
bugging
the
out?
weirdest glitches with
Spell
warlocks.
selection?
Yeah.
Thank you, Steph.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
fucking picked it, and it's
specifically.
gone.
I tried to change it for you when we leveled up, but you can't change cantrips. When
Cantrips. I know.
Yeah,
I
which is annoying.
tried. It's so annoying. But thank you, Steph, for the validation. I appreciate that.
I feel ya. I did agonizing blast, and it doesn't add the charisma modifier for some reason.
So
All right, that's
makes
it.
Makes
Let's play.
that Eldritch Invocation useless, basically.
Yep.
Fun. Get on it, Larian Studios. You heard it from me, someone with authority. Don't laugh at that. Sass is now level 4.
Damn it!
Nice.
Oh, come on.
Do I get her other 2 levels?
No.
Oh, I get them.
Yeah,
No,
but you
nobody
have to
gets them.
multiclass
I'm
into
keeping
Warlock.
them. I'm keeping them.
No, Sean's
They're
gonna
mine.
make a DM NPC or PC
That's 2
Yeah,
levels.
could you
of
give me
Warlock.
2 more levels if I put him into Warlock and have Alex be my patron?
Yes.
And literally,
Nobody
Alex.
gets
But
my
it's
levels.
Alex, like,
They're
not
mine.
Bruce. Alex.
Yeah, no, yeah, not Alex plays your patron. Like Alex is your patron.
Yeah,
It
Alex
will
is the
affect the
patron,
world.
Mm-hmm.
Alex will just DM you what your patron wants you to do.
How about you bring them on screen now, Sean?
I like
Nah,
talking to
okay.
these disembodied voices.
All right.
no,
well,
I'll bring
you
'em.
do
Someone wants
you.
to see our
Poison.
ugly mugs.
There they
Mhm.
are, the ugly mugs. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
We've been here the whole time, Sean.
I've
What?
been here.
I've been here
the whole time.
I've been here the whole time.
Sean, did you do all the notifications, or do I need to do them?
I dissed the chords.
Thank you. I'm
Dim
going
all,
to.
or at least all the
do
ones
the-
that I think you usually do, plus some of that I know you don't do because I'm only in them.
Recap, please.
Alrighty.
The Dingus Den didn't get one.
Do you even?
What?
Rude.
That's a gaming group that I am in with these guys. That predates the stream. Anyway.
Anyway.
You ready?
Anyway.
Last we
Yeah,
left off.
ready.
Okay, Shannon, I started.
All right. All right. Sean, all right.
Last we left off. Could you mute yourself, please, Miss Roby? Last we left off, our heroes were still split in the city of Hyven. Jaquet had slipped into the narrow lanes of the seedy cross alley to find a location ridden with thieves' cant. There he met Andres de Leon, a Leonin butcher and fishery supplier running a secret black market. Jaquet disguised himself as Leroux and bemoaned his former employer Jaquet Touchard as a fool. The Leonin took to this Leroux and offered him work. Meanwhile, Sass and Fearn remained at the Otter business. Lasha of the Bone Rattler crew approached Fearn. She gave vague and cryptic threats, but ultimately let Fearn know that the party would be safe so long as they stay on land. But if the Bone Rattler finds them at sea, there would be no mercy. The half-orc seemed fond of Sass and expressed she held no ill will toward the party. But the new captain, Alina, holds grudges. Furthermore, Fearn learned that Sai Pajin, the governor of the Aldhalor Islands, is coming to Hyven, primarily to discuss new laws, potentially. Hence, the preparations of the more rough sides of town. Sass and Fearn convened outside, where, after some further sorrowful spiraling from Sass, they agreed to go home. At the Cask and Crow, Septimus and Bruce continued working on repairing Sal, but Bruce also made a major breakthrough in his own tinkering. With some help from Septimus, they were able to spark some life into a robotic bird. Ecstatic with their discovery, the two went out to the bar to celebrate. Though Septimus abstained from the drink, he joined Bruce's company. Shortly after, the rest of the party joined them from their respective shady business and began arguing over what to name the little bird. The next morning, the party made their way to the academy to acquire their reward for the mission in Billowgrass. Sigil gladly accepted them and awarded them 360 gold after the silver. I need that silver after the party detailed their discoveries. Furthermore, he expressed trust in their work and hoped for further assignments to come in later over the weekend. Bruce and Septimus talked with him about setting up a meeting with the dean of the School of Artificing, Dean Bronin. Jaquet also expressed interest in working for the Academy's School of Arts and Humanities. Sigil also offered to introduce him to Dean Thirio and the interim Dean Chevalier. Satisfied with these connections, the party left and had the day to themselves until Jaquet's evening bardic performance at the Harlequin Chalice. Along the way, they discussed what their next task might be, speaking potentially with Lucas Pascal, the brother of one of the murder victims. Perhaps even investigate the murder scene themselves, or even return to Kellen the reporter for more details. And of course, potentially, they could just take a break. But finally, upon arriving in Main Street, to Jaquet's horror, Orin plastered the whole street with crudely drawn posters of him, labeled for the premiere of Jaquet Touché, Bard Extraordinaire. We ended the session with Jaquet tearing down these posters and having somewhat of his own spiraling scene as he saw the long line of attendees for his debut performance in Hyven. So, this is where we left off, with a lot of you all hanging out in the streets right now. Jaquet himself holding a crumbled stack of these posters and scribbling on them to correct them before trying to put them back up. The four of you watching him scramble about and also seeing that there is a long line of people waiting to get into the Harlequin Chalice. What would you like to do? Jaquet, there are far too many posters for you to get them all.
I can't do this. Everything I've worked towards my entire life.
What's so bad about it?
You've been ranting and raving for how long about names? All these things about names, where they come from, what they mean. The name Jaquet Touché is the dumbest, stupidest name I've ever heard this side of the... What's the name of the ocean?
Corencia.
Corinthian Ocean. And the other side, too.
I
pretty
mean,
catchy.
it's not... Yeah, I agree with Saskia. It's kind of catchy. Just...
Catchy?
You gotta own it at
Catchy.
some point.
No, you know I own is my fucking name. Jaquet Touché.
Now you own this one, so you might as well lean into it.
I'd like to return it, please. Where's the fucking receipt?
Well, I mean,
Where's the manager?
Septimus is just chuckling to himself. Like, all this happening.
I don't get it. I mean, what does it matter? Like, can't you just go up on stage and correct it?
I can try. But it's not just the people who are here that have seen it. It's every motherfucker that's walked down this fucking street, Fear. Everyone has seen this. This abomination.
What's the big deal? You already have one alter ego. What's wrong with having another?
Let's not discuss alter egos, okay?
Just get on stage and own it. You'll do great.
Yeah, we'll hype you up.
Yeah.
We'll
Don't say
we'll.
anything.
Oh,
Don't
no.
do anything.
No.
Don't.
No. This is the one time that we get to be the loud ones in the crowd. Jackie. Let's go. We've got some hype to do.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on, Bruce.
All right.
Jaquet is just standing there in the middle of the street. Poster is like hanging loosely in his hands. Just like
All of them off? Or is there still some just like kind of
Oh no, there's plenty. He could not get to all of them.
Okay.
Fear's reading this completely.
Yeah.
He stays and waits, and then like puts his hand on Jaquet's shoulder and is like, you know, I used to have stage fright too,
I don't have stage fright.
but you're all nervous and stuff.
No, Fear, I am not nervous. I am furious. This hack of a barkeep has besmirched my name.
You're gonna be late.
I think this is the first genuine time I see you kind of wreathe. And probably forgive my laughter, but just go up on stage and tell them your actual name before you begin the act. And here,
Glaring.
as
Septimus.
yeah, and as a sign
I'm
of good
going
gesture,
to make them all know you're a machine fucker.
As he just tosses the papers down and storms in.
Oh no.
Before I go in, I think this like could work. Some of the signs that are there, could I like flick some prestidigitation on the posters to change it to his actual name?
Oh, I believe you can do that.
Because it says make a color, small mark, or symbol appear on an object surface for an hour.
Yeah, I would allow for the next hour for a few of them. Kind of basically like along the way, you can for an hour you can have the ones you see all say the correct name, which is good because an hour, performance is in an hour, so or within an hour, so you can help them out a little bit there. All right, so as you approach the bar, you would see this long line outside. They're not letting anyone in yet. But as soon as you get close enough, you would hear the familiar voice of Orin calling out for you all as he sees you. Oi! Oi!
You motherfucker!
Owen!
Jackie!
Jaquet walks up to him and puts his like claws out on his chest and pushes him back, and he goes,
What the fuck are all those posters?
You said is there going to be any advertisement? You told me to do
said
it. You told me to
My
do it.
name is Jaquet Touché.
I could have swore at the end of our conversation we had agreed upon Jackie Touché is the name.
No. You came up with that farce of a name, and I specifically showed my displeasure in it. Did I not? He said, asking Saskia and Fearin.
Don't worry, he secretly loves it. This is all
I'm going
part
to
of the
kill you.
act.
I'm going to get sneak attack and kill you.
Oh, and you see Orin comes up to you, Jaquet, and like puts his hands on your shoulders, like comforting you. And and then he kind of pulls you in so that he's got one arm over your shoulder, and he waves his hand out to the crowd. He says, "Now, do you really think a name that can draw a crowd like this is a joke? Mate, look, the results speak for themselves. Jackie."
Jackie.
You can see his fur is standing on end.
I don't like it.
Can I read his heartbeat? Is it like pulsating?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
You might see steam slowly coming out of his ears.
I don't like it. And I expect a larger cut for this besmirchment of my name.
Well, Jackie, with that kind of attitude, you might scare away all these customers.
He's right. You can't afford to lose any customers now, can you, Jackie?
He turns to the crowd and goes,
Everyone, it's me, Jaquet Touché.
Can't
wait to perform for you all.
as he puts an arm around Orin and he's just digging his claws into him.
And you see the people are genuinely excited. There hasn't been a new bard in town in years. And, you know, when you first came here, there was just an old raggedy poster for, oh my God, I forgot her first name.
You're bodega.
Thank you. Bendega.
No, bodega, like the shops in the city.
Yep.
You gotta change something real.
Also famous
Yes.
for having cats.
Now, Fiora Bendega, who has shown up less and less, and Orin even said hadn't been to that particular tavern in a long time. So the people are genuinely excited. You know, they don't know what to expect, but you know, really it's the kind of thing where people are like, man, there's so many signs. Like, if there's that many signs, it must be cool. Give me a quick perception check to see kind of the makeup of the crowd.
It's gonna be a 21 from me, boss.
Nice. So, fairly young skewing, I would say. And from the looks of them, there's a mixture. I would say there's a mixture of some working class folks. I'd say, you know, probably at least half of them look as though they're working class. Another 25% look like they might be a little bit of the ritzier types, the types that might be like, hey, you know what might be fun tonight? Let's go to let's go to a dive bar, listen to some weird bard, and have a night out. Maybe see where Main Street takes us. And then 25% is
Their name's Mike and Sean.
Mike and Sean, yeah, me and you on a weekend. And yeah, you see two NPCs who look strikingly like me and Mike. And then about 25% are like grumpy, older working class folk who are like mad that they're in line to get into their usual spot.
Okay.
All right. But once that kind of raucous cheer goes on, Orin, yes.
Do I spot my friend Reardon?
With a, what'd you get?
21.
21. I'll say with the 21, and if you stick around for a few moments after Orin walks in and says right this way, you can kind of look around, stand up on your toes a little, and you can spot Reardon somewhere in the line. You might even think he saw this sign and stopped, maybe even asked around a little bit and thought, well, this is a good time maybe to catch him.
Cool. Good.
But anyway, Orin opens the door for you to come in, and he actually invites the rest of you to come in as well. You don't have to wait in line.
Oh, sweet.
See what hanging out with me gets you?
Hanging out with Jaquet Touché. Yes.
I'm going to kill you in your sleep. Don't go to sleep tonight, because I will slit your throat.
She doesn't even sleep in the same apartment as us. She sleeps in your room. Like
I've been sleeping on his couch, yeah. But maybe tonight I won't. Okay, all right. We're just having fun, Jaquet. All right.
Are we?
We're having.
This
Yes,
is the
we
start
are.
or the end of my bardic career here in the
Did you
Aldhalor
see?
Islands.
Did you even hear what Orin said? Did you see the fucking line that was outside? They're all here to see you. Are you nervous? That's what this is. You're fucking scared. You're fucking scared to get on stage. That's what this is.
That's what I thought too, but then he got real mad at me.
That's because he got defensive.
Oh,
Hey.
well, he's not completely wrong. I mean, they're all here because of the hype, which was provided by me. But if he goes up there and, shits his pants, it's done.
Hey, Jaquet. Here, take a lollipop while you're...
You really think I want one of your fucking lollipops?
Eat a fucking lollipop.
Oh. Okay. By the crescent heart.
When you eat it, you get enhanced ability.
I knew it.
performance.
Hell yeah.
I knew that's what you were doing.
Eat the fucking lollipop.
What flavor is this? Is this so unique? Dragon fruit?
Yeah. How could you tell? It's not really unique to here, but. Oh, sorry. It's unique to here.
He's got a tongue for it, he says as he.
All right.
Now that's the Jaquet I know.
Yeah.
Might we get a sneak preview of what you'll be ranting on tonight?
Absolutely not. And he storms off backstage.
And you see Oren looks down at Bruce and just says, "Oh, these artist types, man."
It's a fucking diva.
I know it. I didn't realize how upset he'd get just over the name. I thought he would just own it.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, good job, Oren.
And you see, he literally goes to give you a fist bump.
Yeah. And then Bruce like tries his best. Misses.
And Oren, like as you miss Oren's very large hand, he just kind of grabs your hand to shake it and says, "Oh, you got quite a voice there, mate. Confidence. You can manage these types. Look at the way he complied as soon as you yelled at him."
No, I got a little pissed off.
Bruce becomes Jaquet's manager.
I've heard about this, Bruce. He's a loose cannon. He needs someone to manage him. He needs someone to really, keep him in line and
calm him before he gets on stage. Make sure the venue gives him everything he wants.
You're perfect for that
Maybe
job.
some background singing.
Look, get a 50% of his dues.
I played in
As much as
I
I
did
agree,
part
I
of
don't
my
think-
career in the manager role. I only did it for like 3 months. I didn't like it.
But you
Plus,
never
I
did
don't
it for
think-
Jackie Touché.
He probably wouldn't be too receptive to having a manager.
That's exactly why he needs one.
Or, very discreet. Don't give me the title.
Maybe you should do
Well-
it, Saskia. You're the one who's always chatting it up with him.
Are you kidding me? She's the one that's been firing up this entire time. If he has a bad performance, it'll probably be because of her.
But maybe that's what he needs to
All
to get
right,
all
all
fired
right.
up.
That's a little far, Septimus.
I mean, I was enjoying him freaking out, but I'm not one to stoke the fires quite like that.
I
He
don't
can't
mean
dish
to
his-
cause discord here. I don't mean to cause discord. Now, can I get
no,
any
it's
of you a
simple
drink?
mistake on your part.
Yes,
I'll
yes.
have one.
Me too.
I'll have two.
You'll have two.
Yes,
All
please.
All right, only
Take
two.
it on your
we have
accent.
we have a two limit. All right. You want brown, or do you want something harder?
If you could fit it in a glass too, then if you put another 2 in another glass, does that count as 4?
Surprise me.
What?
Attaboy. Yeah, that wasn't English that came out of my mouth.
All right.
Or
We've got,
common, I
we
should
got
say.
a double brown for the lady.
Yep,
Double brown.
sure.
So
Double brown.
what is a double brown?
She's
You never ask, Bruce.
It's the
Just
same
drink
thing
it.
you get
two
every
pints of brown ale.
Just drink it.
We've got some we've got some red wine as well.
Ooh.
We also
I'll
got some Nortka of Bardly
Ah.
tequila.
Ooh.
Little bit
We do a round of the tequila for everyone to celebrate a new endeavor, a new tradition.
He just starts to point at each of you. Bardly tequila, Bardly tequila,
Yeah.
Bardly
Yeah.
tequila.
Yeah, sure.
I'll drink
I'll
you.
take-
I'll
I'll take,
take. Oh no, all right,
take
you
his.
could have it.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Bardly tequilas, 2 double browns, and a wine for you, Bruce.
Yeah, thank you. And Oren, does the booze limit really apply to us here?
It's the first big performance of this bard, your friend. I really had to convince Mr. KR about this, so I'm trying to play by some of the rules tonight. Okay?
All right, in that case, we'll play by your rules.
All
Thank
right,
you. Oren.
Next time, mate, you can do whatever you want. As long as this works out. If your friend bombs up there, well, he shouldn't really show his face around here much anymore.
Yeah, well, good thing you named him Jackie Two Shoes for that.
Oh, that's even better.
That is actually much better.
Jackie Two Shoes.
All right, so we've got 2 double browns, which is 4 silver.
He doesn't even wear shoes.
I was about to say the same thing.
We got 4 Aldhalor tequilas. That's about 8 silver. And a wine for 2 silver. So we've got 14 silvers, your bell.
I
Keep
got
it
it.
open. Oh, all right.
All right. And then he walks off. And he goes backstage. And he comes over to you, Jaquet. And he's like, "Oh, man, I know it's a bit rough out there. I know you're a little unhappy with me. But I'm hoping that you're ready to perform tonight."
Oh, please, my friend. I was born ready. And a little premature.
All right, then. Well, you got about 40 minutes to relax and get ready. I'll announce you. You saw out there, the stage. It's not too big, but it's enough for you, I think. You're by yourself. You got any instruments?
Just this, he says, and he does a little rapping on his hand drum. He goes, but I've got some special effects. And he's going to cast Minor Illusion as he does that. And you see some lights here behind him.
Very nice, very nice. I was looking to pick up a few gadgets like that, shit like that. You know, seeing as we're hooked up to the grid, you know.
Gadgets? Grid?
Hey.
What are you talking about?
You know, and he's just sort of like taps like the tiny little, like one of the tiny little lamps in there. Yeah, we're hooked up to the grid in the back there. Not a lot. We signed up for some program, you know. They installed it, did everything, and now we just kind of got electrical, whatever they call it, feed into the place. Some of the lights run on it. You know, I'll heat up some of the water for your baths with it. Well, anyway, I'll let you get into your Zen or whatever it's called. I'll come back and let you know when you got 5 minutes.
Sounds good. Send someone with a drink back here. Your finest red, please.
Oh, absolutely. All right. And he walks out. And you'll get your red, and he comes back to you all with your drinks with a round of tequila shots. Lays out some lime wedges for you all, and you see as he kind of comes out, you can see other workers coming in for the night. It seems like he's called most of them in since it's going to be a busy night. And yeah, is there anything you guys want to do or talk about before Jackie Touché comes on? You got about 40 minutes by yourselves in the bar.
Probably say we could wait for the performance.
Sure.
Sounds good. So you take your shots. Bruce takes 2, or saves the second one for a little bit later.
It saves the second one.
Yeah. You're not sass. You're not gonna puke behind the bar tonight.
Fair.
Yeah, I was like, where's the lie? And you guys can all enjoy your drinks for a little bit, and then slowly, about like 15 minutes before they start to let people in. Actually, good question. Did you guys want to stay out in the open here, or did you want to pay the silver to get a private booth?
Bruce would make sure we paid the silver to get the private area.
Okay, great. Trying to remember how much it charged you last time for that. Do you have the note on that?
Did you just say silver?
I think it was pretty cheap.
It's like one or
Yeah,
two
it was
silver,
pretty
I
sure.
thought.
Yeah.
Let's go with 2 silver.
I'll take off 1 silver. Oh, 2 silver. Okay.
Yeah, let's just go with 2 silver.
Just go 3.
Let's go with 10 silver. No, we'll go with 2 silver.
A gold while you're at it.
Alrighty. So, you all are in your private booth. The place is really filling up. You know, like there's some people are having to stand up close by the stage instead of sit down. You know, this place is probably reaching its like max capacity for people, which is good for this. And we'll see if they stay after the first bit of the performance. But it's not too long till Orin comes back there, Jaquet, and goes, "All right, mate, you ready?"
I mean, are any of us ever really ready for the crucible we must walk through to be forged anew?
All
in the light?
right. Save it for a crowd. Remember, you got to
Sorry,
rile
I
them
was
up.
just-
Got to get them buying drinks. You know, so all right. And he kind of looks
Don't
at
worry.
you. He looks back and he like looks through the door, and there's a bunch of people, and there is a light on the stage, and he looks back and goes, "But what does crucible mean?"
And he's just gonna push him aside and walk out.
I was supposed to announce you.
And Jaquet just turns and he goes,
No one can really announce me like I can announce myself.
And you turn around, and you can see there is a light shining on you, somewhat of a spotlight. And you can see the people are all out there. They do all clap. There is this nice cheer. They're a little hesitant because they are excited, but they are starting to drink. You can see waiters coming around. You can see your friends in like the corner.
Jackie Touché!
Because remember, the private booths are in the 4 corners of the room. So would you guys have picked one close to the stage or one in the back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I mean,
Okay, so yeah.
I would like to be close
So
to
Jackie,
the stage.
as you scan the audience, you look to the left and you just see Sass sticking out from the booth.
You call this Jackie Touché? That's not my accent. Jackie Touché!
I don't know how I feel about this move.
It's perfect.
It's the upbeat Jaquet, but
I love it.
You chose it. So, you're standing up there, and it's your time.
yeah. So Jaquet walks up and he goes,
Hello, thank you all so much. It is I, Jackie Touché, or also known as Jaquet Touchard.
and he does a really big, deep bow and like flips up his coattails. As he
Yeah.
stands back up and he goes,
Now, I'm sure many of you may not know me, recognize me, my accent, the words I use sometimes, but rest assured, I am here to entertain, and entertain you shall be. But first, let's give a rousing round of applause for our hosts, the barkeep Orin.
he says, being like,
Orin like sheepishly steps out from the curtain and looks and goes, and then like nervously, like he kind of steps out and stands there for too long, like
Yeah.
waving, and then kind of like gets a little like happy to hear people clapping for him until he finally like notices and rushes back.
well,
over
as
to the
he's
bar.
doing that, Jaquet's like,
Okay, make sure to man the bar and get everyone drinks, right? We're here to drink and have a good time. And of course, we must thank our gracious host and owner, proprietor of this establishment, Mr. KR, whoever he may be.
That one gets a lot less claps.
right. And Jaquet is going to scan the crowd and look for anyone that seems a little maybe taken aback by this.
Give me a perception check.
Or
Are you looking for someone who might be Mr. KR?
either B or knows more. It's going to be a 17.
It doesn't look quite look like you can find anyone. The spotlight might be blocking your
Right.
vision a little bit of some of the faces.
That's fair. So I'm not gonna do all this in character.
No
'Cause that
problem.
wouldn't be a lot. But so he's gonna just start being like, I'm not from around here. I come from Domuzerum across the sea that Sean just told me what it is.
Corencia.
Francia.
Corinthian Sea.
But how did I get here, you might ask? Oh, well, isn't that a story for the ages?
And he's going to tell the story of the airship crash, focusing on the elementals fighting. And when he does that, he's using the minor illusion to kind of like play out some of the scenes. He simply lists Sass and Fjern, gesturing towards them in the crowd, as being other survivors of the crash, not saying how they got there or anything like that. And then
Builds the fucking raft.
talking about their time on the island and sailing back, and then being like, I had never seen a more beautiful port than when I saw Hyven standing on the horizon. And he's gonna like wax kind of poetically about the basalt pillars and the sight that he saw from sea coming in for the first time, making sure to like really like hype up the city. And then he's gonna go into his impression of Hyven, being like, oh, it's such a wonderful city you have here, a bustling little industrial place, built on the backs of workers like yourselves. He says, gesturing to some of the lower class people, presumably up front standing.
Yep.
And those with the wherewithal to sell her wares beyond the seas and to every corner of the map, gesturing to whatever merchants might be there. And he goes, but I do feel I must mention, there is the taint of a shadow that lies over Hyven. A grievance.
He's a taint.
And at this, he gets a little kind of like almost somber, and this is where he starts really playing the eloquence, where he's like really being like, like
A shadow, a grievance on the city. But I'm sure the light of the Commodore will dispel the darkness, especially with the help from her friend, the governor, Sai Paijan. I hear they're coming to town soon, actually, and what I wanted to give to sit in one of their discussions. Anyone can hook me up, huh? Anyone here? No, that's not for us. That's for the higher-ups in the Admiralty Court, am I right?
You get tons of laughs at that.
hell yeah. And so he goes on trying to make light about some of the issues of. He goes on to compliment some of the parts of Hyven that might culturally be significant. And then he goes on, starts talking about the Lighthouse District and being like, oh, I'm sure in its prime she must have stood beautiful up on those cliffs, but now the property value's so low, even on a pauper's purse you could buy a whole block. Anyone think about investing up there? I'm sure you do really good. Not right now, but give it time. But
I'll ask for your first performance check here.
okay, and I get advantage because of the lollipop.
You do.
Okay,
Damn straight.
that's gonna be an 18.
Okay. I will roll a. Go ahead and keep talking.
And so he's talking about it. And he's like, "Oh, it would be a good investment, but
maybe someone should think about building an orphanage. In my times there, I saw many a young child running through the wreckage. And I can't help but think that there should be someone out there lending aid to those in need. But where I come from, the problems are the same. Are they not? Everywhere across the plains. There are always those in need and those with the ability to meet those needs. But they don't.
and then he goes on, and starts talking about his time outside the city, waxing poetically about the farmlands around Hyven, going on to go,
where I come from, there's a famed poet, Elwood Roberts, he goes by. A small halfling, well known in the colleges. He has a poem I would like to read to you. The Farmer.
I need something not this.
In the Dell.
While you're looking this up, the first
Yeah.
performance check you do pass. As you just pass it though.
Okay.
And so the crowd, you can tell what appears to be is that the workers have really taken to this. The people who are like really call the entirety of Hive and the entirety of Asia as their home. The people who are maybe look a little bit richer, maybe look like they have heavier coin purses. They're not enjoying it. They are enjoying it, but they're not. It's not resonating as much with them. Especially those who maybe spend more time at sea or only spend their time up on the rock. They're like, what is billowgrass? But universally, everyone was wildly impressed with the story of the crash and your way here. So go ahead and continue where you left off.
Are they like cheering? Or...
Yes. So you'll find they're cheering during the story when he's using the illusions. Like that's when he got the most cheers and oohs and ahs. After that, he got a lot more laughs when he was dropping a lot of these one-liners, and then some sullen silence when he would go serious, which almost disturbed, disrupted the laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like there's that like time when like everyone's laughing, having a good time, and then suddenly everything gets serious, and there's a little bit of a like a pin drop in the room kind of situation, and then he brings them back with a laugh.
Is there a patron that like is like very uproarious and is kind of like not leading the charge, but like could like with like his enthusiasm?
Yeah, I would say there's a group. There's a particular group that seems to be leading this. There's a up close in front where people are standing. I would say there's because it's kind of like there's two sides where people are standing off to each side, almost to the point where you guys are getting like blocked a little bit in your booth by these people standing. And this premium close-up booth is becoming a bit of a not worth it, other than for the privacy. But which kind of happens sometimes when you go to a concert. You're like, oh, I paid extra for these seats, but there's a bunch of people standing in front of me. But there seems to be this like one group of workers who may have like you ordered shots before he got onto stage, and they're very much enjoying the lilt of Jaquet's voice, the rhythm of what he's giving, and and they seem to really enjoy the drums. Even though like it's not the main part, it's really just there for like that rhythm. Like they're really enjoying the drum part.
Got it. Okay.
Like to the point where some of them will like bang on their table with their cups as Jaquet is speaking some of the more resonant things with them about working and being the backbone of Hyven.
Okay.
Is there any crossover, Sean, between the regular crowds at the otter business?
Yes. You might not know people particularly by like name or anything, but like this seems like it's not super different from the crowd there, in the sense that like these workers will go anywhere. Like they don't really discriminate the bars, and maybe some of them go there when they're looking particularly to gamble, and they come here when they're just looking for a fun night out.
Okay.
Any other observations before Jaquet continues? Take it away, Jackie.
But first, and he's gonna mage hand for the nearest person's drink and take it, if you don't mind. And he's just gonna chug whatever it is real quick, and then put it back. And goes, from the pages of Elwood Roberts, the halfling, the farmer, toiling early and toiling late, toiling patiently day by day. Joy and peace on the farmer wait as he faithfully works away. Plowing, planting with steady hand, singing cheerily now and then. Spring awaken ere the land makes of him the gladdest of men. Turns he furrows where soon shall stand bright green ranks of beautiful corn. Grand his mission, his life work grand. Through his fingers with toil are worn. Health is his contentment too, for fulfilling the grand design. Threads he pathways to nature true. She rewards him with peace benign. Gives a big bow.
Give me your second performance check. still with advantage.
A 21.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So with this second one, you get a much more overall positive reaction. You see the workers become quite somber as you're lilting this off, almost like it is touching the exact right heartstring within them. As you can even hear some very much more quiet tapping of the mugs, where they were more raucous before. There's just sort of like this quiet tapping in agreement to the rhythm as you say these parts. The ritzier crowd hears this, and they are less interested in the message of it and more interested in the beauty, the aesthetic of the words, and they are impressed by that particularly as people of culture in their minds. Even the merchants are loving it in their own way, thinking about their own work, maybe aligning themselves with this farmer character, even though they would be more upper class than the farmer character. And overall, this one gets probably the most positive reaction. There's literally, as you finish, it is quiet for a beat, a very eloquent beat before they clap and cheer at the poem with your bow.
And then, so Jaquet will finish up with the tale of the elemental ailment of Billowgrass, as he's going to recount the party's exploits in Billowgrass. Maybe shying away from some of the more complicated issues, but being... And the nerds in Fjern were able to save the life of Davin from the elemental ailment. And with the power of the five of us and our protector... I meant to ask Septimus about this. So before going, if you don't mind...
I absolutely don't mind there being a quick flashback here.
As maybe we were walking up,
maybe after you noticed Septimus changed some of those signs for you,
right? Jaquet goes, Septimus, I meant to ask, Salvatore, do you wish for him to come through in this performance?
Why, yes, actually, I think that'd be most grand. As long as they don't know that he's here with me, but a tale of a Mechanica saving people, that'd be priceless.
There's a moment when Jaquet starts this story, and there's a moment of pause as he holds a hand up and he makes eye contact with...
Just to go back to that saying, you're telling the story that we were all there doing the saving.
Yes.
Maybe I would say, he showed up and wasn't affiliated with us and helped.
That's exactly, yes.
Okay, there's a moment where Jaquet, hand up, other hand on the drum, and he just looks, and you make eye contact with each other, Septimus and Jaquet, where he has that flashback memory, and we come back into it.
And then, as if sent by the spirits of nature and the element itself, a Mechanica... And at this, he's going to minor image, the image of Sal behind him, imitating his movements. Arose from the well, the same one where the kite had fallen previous. Because he definitely includes that part. Not him throwing it in there, but obviously it fell in by itself. And then from the well, in our moment of need, this machine came out and struck down the Dragonborn, pushing back the bandits and dispelling the shadow magics of the evil half-orc Dalen.
Give me your last performance check. This DC is a little higher than the others.
Yes.
Ooh, papa! That's a 19, or natural 19 for 25.
Excellent. The DC was 24, by the way.
When he talks about this too, I like to just perceive the reaction of the room.
Absolutely. Give me a perception check. And anyone else who wants to can as well.
Oh my god. It was literally on the 20 and it was just like, nah.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay,
Now
so
you
I'm
can
gonna say, Septimus, while you're excitedly looking about, you don't see anything, but I'm gonna let Saskia see what you are looking to see and tell you about it. So
See with
I'll
your
get
special eyes.
I'll get to that in one moment. But yes, you recall this story, and your illusions create this spectacle that they don't always get to see from bards. There's a lot of bards that come through that literally don't have any magic to them necessarily, or have very little magic.
Not real bards. What?
Exactly. They're literally level zeros trying to become level 1 bards. And they can't quite tap into the strings of reality, but you can. And the moment that you describe this, they're all really wrapped into this story of these kites billowing in the sky, and one of them ripping off with the name of the very man that you've saved, lost in this well. And from that well came this automata with the kite itself coming up to protect you, save the village, and fight back these evil people. And the crowd is absolutely enamored, like not just sort of like enjoying just the words. This is the point when the crowd is unified, where they all enjoy the story, and for the same reasons. There's almost a consciousness in the room as they all enjoy it. And even you all might really maybe think like, oh wow, yeah, okay, Jaquet is not lying when he boasts about his ability to perform. Like, this is maybe one of the ones that actually even impresses you all. Sass, you notice all of this amongst the crowd. You notice that they are just sort of devouring every word that Jaquet says. The primary thing that I would say you notice is that there are a few dissenters, even with the 25 on a 24. There are a few people who are kind of like, you see like this old man smoking a pipe, and he's just like. The thing that probably strikes you the most is the man at the bar, who you immediately recognize, snickers at one point. As you can see up there, Reardon, the wild magic sorcerer, just sort of as he takes a shot, puts it down. He's got this like almost like a poncho over him. He's been trying to keep low, but now not missing a chance to connect with his new employer. You also notice him here, as Jaquet did. But you do notice generally, though, like, and you may want to report this to Septimus, that like the people don't chafe at the mention of Sal. I wouldn't say there's anyone who's like overjoyed by the mention of a machine. No one that you might perceive to be a Machina's Whisper member. But you do see like even some of the people they tap their cups to the savior machine. You would, in certain parts of the country, like you would never see anyone tap their cup at the mention of a machine saving people. So it's a positive response for the most part.
Septimus,
Is this the end of his performance? Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes, it is.
And are they like just like clapping, or is there like a lot of like cheering?
I would say here it's clapping and cheering and some folks standing up from their seats. Jaquet.
He's just going to end with, and such is the first tale of iron and mana.
And with
Hide
that,
heroes.
with that iron and mana exclamation, they all start to cheer, and you can see the workers all on their feet. They're all on their feet. Some of the ritzier folks get on their feet, having seen, think like, this is a man of culture and adventure. And then some of the merchants are just kind of like, oh, great, that was cool. Let's get back to business. I would like 600 crates of. They just kind of like, this was fun, but we're here to talk about other things. And yes, and Sass, you can let Septimus know.
Yeah. Septimus, did you see that? People were tapping their cups at the mention of Sal.
I
seemed
unfortunately
excited.
missed it. I was enthralled by his tale. I had no idea he was so eloquent with his words.
It's nice to see he can back up all the bullshit.
And that he keeps his word.
Now Jaquet is on the stage, literally dancing around, shooting off finger guns with minor illusions, making lights, as he is just elated with himself. He had a high opinion of himself before, but he is like, I don't need anyone's validation. I fucking blew it out of the fucking park with this. And he's on stage
Jaquet.
celebrating with himself.
I'm going to ask you to do one more performance check. This one, I'm going to say, is not with advantage. I'm going to say it would be, but the advantage is being counteracted by a confidence disadvantage.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a 12.
Okay. Okay. So it's not turning too many people off from your performance.
No, yeah.
There's maybe like one person who's kind of like, that's pretty cringy.
Oh no, it is. Yeah.
but people are too distracted by talking and being excited about it that like it's really maybe only like some of the front row people who notice this before Oren very quickly comes out and just like grabs one of your wrists that's throwing finger guns and holds it up, and he just he kind of like goes out to the crowd like, I give it up again for the bard extraordinaire from across the sea, Jaquet Touché, a man of his word. He'll be here every month, sometimes twice a month. Come back, buy your drinks, enjoy your time in the Harlequin Chalice. There's more to be had tonight. Give it up one more time. And then, cheers.
Make sure to tip your server.
Jackie!
Yeah.
One last, much more elegant bow, and then he walks off with Oren.
Okay. So you walk off into the back area. You all hear that sort of awkward din of after the band goes back and everyone's like, okay, now I got to figure out how to get home.
Where did I put my keys? Do you remember where we parked? What level was that?
Traffic's gonna be terrible.
You should have left before the encore, man. I keep telling you.
You could hear it from the parking lot.
Hey, Sean, this is our dad that was block, man. We gotta go. We gotta hit that one up next, man.
yeah. He's Mike.
This guy,
Mike. You know, I
Sean,
know we should do tonight.
Sean, there's karaoke. There's karaoke at the end of the bar. We gotta go.
Mike. Let's go to the Otter business and fucking fight, man.
I love you. I love the way your brain works.
Here's some pissed off person like, it's not even fight night. But anyway, the performance ends. Some people siphon out. Others who this is their usual place for a Friday night or a Thursday night stick around. And the bar becomes about dropped down half by its volume, both in sound and the amount of people here. As Oren would come to you, Jackie, and say, and before you leave tonight, stop by and we'll arrange for your payment. I just got to go count the drinks.
Believe me, I'll be stopping by later.
But go ahead and go out there, have some fun. Here's a bottle on the house. He gives you a bottle of the same red.
Grabs it and does another flourishing bow, and he goes, and sorry for being a dick, he says as he walks away really quick.
And you just hear a boisterous laugh back there, like this really like a really loud guffaw from Oren. As you go out there and can join your friends in the booth.
There he is.
Hey, so what'd you all think?
I think you did a great job.
Well, I appreciate you all coming. I appreciate the lollipop booze. I'm not usually one for
It's good to know you like dragon
performance enhancing drugs, but you know, Whatever edge you can get, am I right? Huh? He says, gesturing with the wine bottle, and if anyone goes to take it, he immediately snaps it back.
It's really nice to see you backing up your usual bullshit.
Shit, please, you know what that had to come from somewhere, right? I mean, someone doesn't have charisma like me coming at his ass and can't hold his own on the stage. Come on.
It's
I must say
impressive.
that was quite impressive, Jaquet.
Let this be a lesson
In here,
to you
he's
all.
Jackie Touché.
I knew
You
you
can
had
call
it in
me
you.
Jaquet. Thank you for your...
Jackie.
He's deserved my respect to call him by what he wants to be called.
Jackie.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Jackie when I'm on the job, Jaquet when I'm literally anywhere else.
And gloveless when you do good.
Anyway,
I
And
knock his
cheers.
beer.
Cheers, and then avoids fears. That name.
Anyone can roll me a d20 real quick
Me.
I won't.
and call high or low.
Hi.
I won't.
No.
Oh, Mike.
10. What does it mean? What does it mean, Sean?
Mike, you could dominate the high-low rolls because you're always low.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
We'd always just say low. All
Unless
right,
the-
can I
unless-
be the
unless the-
tiebreaker?
Yeah, let's have you do the tiebreaker, unless the curse
Low.
reverses itself somehow.
Let's go, baby!
Amazing.
Okay. So, I'll take note of that. During this night, are you guys just gonna kind of hang out here for a while, or just gonna? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Why?
Some quality
Why,
time.
Sean? Why? Why do you need to know? Why?
I just need to know.
Why?
So, well, partially I need to know also to charge you more for your drinks. So I mean, Jaquet has a bottle of wine. Like he's good. He can literally also Jaquet. You can like go be like, just take it out of my my pay, if anyone charges you. But Sass, Fiern,
Yeah.
and Bruce, are you guys having another round?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Put
If
it on
you're-
Jaquet's tab.
Jackie
but, hey,
Touché's
wait a minute,
tab.
What? I don't have a tab.
You do now, my
Everything I
friends.
drink is free.
I am talking like you now. I have had too many drinks.
are you guys gonna have another round of Aldhalor tequila shots?
I want one.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, okay. If everybody's drinking that, I'm drinking it.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, we are.
All right. So since well, Jaquet's gonna have one now. Okay, so that's gonna be for the next round. It's gonna be another 14 silver.
Oh, jeez. All
What
right,
are these
so-
things made of?
I want to talk to you about your silver conversion and how it works with common items like alcohol and food.
Yeah, shouldn't it be like 14 copper?
I made that much like winning a fighting tournament last session.
Well, you won 40 silver. That's a good point, actually. These beers probably should be cheaper. The tequila, no. So I'm actually gonna have you put some more money back in your bank because that's a
Okay.
good point. These beers are too expensive for being called brown. So I'm going to halve their cost. So you can give yourself back. Let's see, 6 silver.
Okay.
Cool. Seems fair.
Thank you.
All right, so it is about maybe an hour later when you're like, maybe halfway through the second round of drinks. Those of you who are drinking are feeling good, but not too drunk. And you're celebrating that there would be someone who comes up to you. You see this. Second. You see this older Fearball woman. She is probably, you know, she's got some wrinkles. She's probably probably in her, you know, for a Fearbog, those of you who know what a Fearbog is, probably like in her 80s, potentially. And she is dressed very well. Not a worker, definitely someone who has some money or comes from money, but also somewhat in the dress of an academic. You can see very proper, very prim. She's wearing like sort of a long coat with some nice a nice vest underneath, nice waistcoat, and she has an ascot on that is sort of a kaleidoscope of colors. Sorry, I thought you were saying something, Jaquet.
Nope.
And she has kind of like this like spotted look to her with the kind of like loose fur of a Fearbog. Very kind eyes, with spectacles hanging on the end of her nose, with long braided hair throughout. As she comes up, she's certainly not like crooked or anything like a very old woman might be. She stands quite tall, and her height is quite tall as a Fearbog. She's, you know, somewhere between 7 and 8 feet tall. As she comes over, as you're all maybe cheersing to Jaquet again, as she would be kind of holding her her hat in her hands, kind of in a respectful way, and she looks and she goes, "So, I presume that this lot here is iron and mana." She looks to Jaquet.
Getting up, like putting an arm on Sass, like push himself up. He goes. Jaquet goes,
The one and the same. Iron and mana. Here we be. From the sea. I gotta work on my material a little bit.
No, I like that. I like that. Iron and mana. Here we be from the sea. Yes.
Oh,
and then
Yes.
like dropping back into his seat.
How can we help you, madame?
I see. You're all deep in the cups and celebrating tonight. A great
Jaquet holds up
performance.
the bottle. It's half gone.
A great performance, especially if even half of it is true. She kind of looks
Some
to each
of
of
it
you
more
at
than
that.
others.
All of it's true and then some.
Well, you all seem like very strong and capable adventurers.
He's the
Right.
strongest.
He says,
Why-
pointing to Fearin.
So
Why do you-
strong. He's so
why do-
strong.
Guilty
Why
as
do you
charged.
How rude of me. Let me introduce myself. My name is Professor Essa.
Professor?
Hyven.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say
Wait, so
your
you
name is
na-
Hyven?
Is the city named after you?
Are you named after the city?
No, I can't quite claim that kind of fame. It is a tradition of Furbolgs to name themselves, or at least take part
Oh,
of their
of
names.
course. I'm
Oh!
so sorry. Yes. It's been
You know,
a
of
while
course,
since
I
I
am
met.
a modern woman, so I simply took it as my surname. I don't need to be fully called Hyven like some of the, you know, other Furbolgs out there. But my name is Essa. You can call me Essa. Please do not call me Hyven.
Pleasure
Professor
to meet you,
Essa.
Professor Essa.
How can we, iron and mana, be of service?
Well, you do seem like you're having a bit of a night, so I don't want to necessarily talk too much business, but if you're interested, we are looking for strong and capable adventurers. We have an advert over there on the quest board. When you're a little more straight and narrow, you might want to take a look at it. I don't know what your plans are for the winter, but if you're interested in an adventure, something getting ahead of those old dogs in the Convergency, we have a bit of a wintering trip that will be worth quite a bit of silver and gold for those interested.
Is your name on the
Oh, yes,
pamphlet or whatever?
the name is on there, as well as my office location, the academy. Are you also perhaps? The story sounded familiar. The adventurers working with librarian Sigil.
Yes.
Hi.
That's right.
Yeah.
It indeed be us.
I heard rumors
That was
about
us.
that.
And speaking of which, what do you teach at the academy?
Oh, myself. Well, I am particularly in the School of the Arts and Humanities, and my specialty is in, particularly in the pre-conflict world, ancient ruins, so to speak. The far places, if you will. And to give you a little hint at the excursion, it will be leaving the Aldhalor Islands and going to the far places. In fact, it will be wintering in a particular place. So if you're not interested in wintering somewhere, it might not be the job for you, but because it is wintering somewhere, it comes with rather large pay. As well as in a far place, which means that it is potentially very dangerous, which can result in even more pay. And we've just got the approval for the funding, and we're trying to beat out some of those halcyon naturalists and archaeologists trying to get to where we're going.
These far places, can you elaborate? What direction?
Well, we'll be going, if our navigation's right, and the old maps we've taken a look at, and some of our exploratory vessels, we'll be heading north, slightly east, towards lands that we have presumed to have been a civilization of gnomish culture in the pre-conflict era.
Have I gone in that direction in my travels, Sean?
No. Your people stuck to the western shorelines, southwestern. This was kind of like it's so out there on the sea. That you guys you would have kept more close to the shorelines you could see. Your people don't even know about this island.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you said I was from the north, but like not this part of the north.
You're much further north than this.
Yeah, okay.
And this island is very isolated, so unless you had, like, maybe some of your people who are like, I'm going east, and I'm going till I find land, and people were like, yeah, whatever, let's stick to raiding that, traditional, like, Viking, like, let's stick to raiding this place, not going, finding England, basically.
The Leaf Ericssons, if you...
Yes. Which is, but...
And what's the time frame look like for you? Take it off.
So we're not leaving for a little while. We don't want to wait too long because we don't want to get caught at sea during the harshest months of the winter. But by the grace of the Crescent Heart, the early months of winter are no longer that much of a threat to most peoples. So once the new moon rises, we will be preparing to leave, and then probably 2 weeks into the new moon season, we will be taking our journey. It's going to take a little while to get there, so we want to get there before before a month into winter, and then when we get there, we will be wintering there. We'll be settling down, building some structures, which is also why we want to get there early enough to make sure that we don't, die of exposure over the winter, because we don't know what kind of structures are there, if there's any sort of easy shelter, or if there's any people there. That's the most exciting part, is that connecting with another surviving civilization. And the dangers, you might ask, as she looks to your faces all somewhat drunk. Well, of course, the far places are unknown, but our ships have noticed some rather... Oh, dear. As she almost spilled some of his drink. Have noticed some rather fascinating, but very potentially dangerous, potentially extremely dangerous, ancient, what appears to be ancient machina on the shore. Large ones. We would very much be interested in their purpose in studying them. I know that
the entire party turns to look at
Septimus. Yeah. Yeah, what's his face look like?
Septimus is actually not as excited as you'd think he should be. Everything's been kind of just looking and just yeah, maybe I'm not really feeling it. And then when she says machina, it kind of twinges a little, but he doesn't get too excited. He goes, well, it's all very interesting, Professor. You've definitely given us quite a lot to consider and think about. I will go ahead and take a look at the posting you have on the board later this evening, and we can discuss. what we may want further. But I think right now, my crew and I would like to just celebrate the success of Jaquet's revelry.
Here, here.
Of course.
Jackie Touché.
Jaquet Touché.
Jackie Touché.
Jaquet Touché.
Jackie
And you see
Touché.
her face goes back and her face goes back and forth between the two of them, and then back to Septimus and goes, "Of course, I understand you want to celebrate, and I will just say, our rates are quite competitive, so just keep that in mind in case others sign up for the service. You can stop by my office whenever you're ready to talk further about it." She's like going back and forth between rushing you and being like, "There's plenty of time," because she doesn't want to be like she's not the negotiator type. She's one of the lead researchers. But she finally
wealthy backing you've got there, huh?
Oh, certainly. I mean, the Commodore's office has a distinct interest in expanding the humanities, but of course there's also we have another donor that we're very excited about, a different Commodore who has a particular interest in the fireplaces. So it's a backing of 2 Commodores. So we can pay quite well. But just no pressure, of course. You know, I was just excited to hear about a new adventuring league, Iron and Mana. Very cool, very exciting. Because I'm a little...
And hip.
And hip.
We're very hip.
You know, because a lot of the there's a lot less adventurer types around here, and a lot more brigands and sellswords and pirates that are doing more of the.
There's nothing wrong with pirates.
There's a lot wrong with pirates.
No, there's nothing wrong with pirates.
Really, when you think about it, what's the difference between a brigand and an adventurer besides a sense of...
They'll be going at this for quite a while, so we appreciate the offer that you give us. As he said, he'll let them continue the conversation as a lead and just like say that to her. It's like, I'll at least give you an answer, yes or no, within the next couple of days. We're meant to see Sigil in sometime in the future, so the next time we stop,
yes,
university,
sounds wonderful. Let's go. We accept.
Well, we not.
Yes, we do. We accept.
Okay. No. I insist that you at least sleep on it, Miss.
Yeah.
But just
Saskia. My name is Saskia.
Sea hag.
No, Saskia. Sea witch, if you must.
Well, I must go, and but just so you are aware, the trip does leave Hyven. It will most likely. Let's see. What? When are we going? What am I doing? What month is it?
Nova's dog.
Oh, what month?
What did you just...
November.
Septum.
Oh, it is Septum.
That's right, Septum. Okay, we will most likely be leaving in the second week of Novum. We would like to hopefully get there by the beginning of Decem and set up so that we are firmly planted in our wintering lodging for the 2 harshest months. Then we'll begin our work in the new for the next moon cycle in Marum. And truthfully, at that point, as long as everything is safe, you can go home.
All right, so we don't need to stay there for the whole 2 months. We just need to make sure you're safe and you make a base, and that's it.
Oh, well, certainly we wouldn't mind you doing a little bit of exploring on your own or a few excursions, but if we are established, and of course, if you stay longer, if you stay straight through the whole winter and into the month of Marum, and even potentially further, we'll
pours a little wine in your cup.
Thank you.
And she like looks at the two of them and is like, of course, there's more pay. We can keep you on for further pay for quite a while, truthfully. But
we already said yes. We don't need any anymore.
We're gonna think about it.
I will leave you to think about this. Just know you've got
silver, Jackie.
It was wonderful
she
to meet
specifically
you.
said silver and gold.
Silver.
I did say silver and gold. But anyway, we've got
that.
quite a while before we're leaving, about a month and a half, so plenty of time to think about and settle your affairs before we head off to
What affairs? They've been settled.
The supposed originating lands of the Nadari. Good
I've
night.
had a few affairs.
Good night.
And
Good night.
she leaves.
That's pretty fucking cool. We already got a job. Look at that. And if you hadn't leaned into the whole Jaquet Touché, we might not have gotten the job.
Well, we didn't accept the job. Also.
Yes, we
It was just an
did. We
offer.
all but.
You did.
It sounds
you don't-
amazing. Going
be
out on the
honest,
sea
I think just
for a
just at
long
least sleep on it.
time.
Mm.
I don't need to sleep on it.
Wait, hold on.
I'm
hold-
going.
Hey, good
Just-
luck with that.
From the conversation we had previously, didn't we get threatened by the bone rattlers if we were to leave land?
Precisely.
right.
That's also a very good point.
We could take them. We could take them. It's fine. I know
that's
them. I'll
also
talk.
right.
I'll talk to them. It's fine.
I do
It's
think
fine.
we could probably take them. I mean, Fjern beheaded their captain in one fell swoop. Like, come on.
Yes, but
bunch of
we
pansies.
said sorry, didn't we? We told
Yes,
them
while
that's
both
what it
you
was-
and I
this
were
was-
flat on our backs, choking on our own blood.
I did kind of tell
I was
them that
choking
their
on a
captain
bullet,
totally
but-
deserved it.
Yeah, I don't want to see a crab again. That was
So,
not
Bruce,
a pleasant experience.
Bruce, we'll protect you. Don't worry, we'll protect you.
I mean, I got
Those
a frying
fucking
pan now,
crabs,
so I'm a
they
little more
won't-
confident, but
You can give them a fucking lollipop. They won't know what's hit them.
Well, it sounds like just you want to take on this endeavor.
I can't be the only one looking around at the group. Does anybody else want to go?
She did say gold.
look, I'm kind of interested. Not gonna lie.
It
Just-
sounds fucking cool.
What if
we
we
gotta
could find
settle
a,
some things first and iron out a few.
yeah? What if we could
details.
find another
Like
job
what? Like
that
what?
keeps us
I-
here?
You know
on
what,
the-
Bruce? What's your fucking story? I want to hear your story.
Hmm.
It's pretty boring.
No, don't sell yourself short.
So,
What's your story? Where'd you come from? Where were you born?
Where did you
How many-
come from? Where did you
No,
go? Where did you
I knew
come
you were
from,
going to
Brucey
fucking
eyed
do that.
boy?
Can't you leave one? Just.
uh, I grew up in Halcyon, as you know.
Where is that exactly?
That's north,
West.
There's
Which way is
Northwest.
north?
northwest.
Which way is that?
You ever look at a compass before?
I.
I think she literally means point in the direction of northwest.
That's
Oh.
true, but yes, to answer your question, I've looked at the compass.
Septimus, or can somebody point? I don't know where
I
northwest
point.
is.
It's just in a direction.
Yeah,
Point
could be.
in the direction.
Right, so you're from that way. What's it like over there?
Much more advanced than here.
How so?
People are more wild here. They kind of do what they want. Where I grew up is a little bit more civilized. People are driven by intentions of being better for the community and rather than not for themselves.
You know, where I come from is kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not advanced in the same way, but there's definitely a stronger sense of community.
Didn't you mention that you grew up in caves or lived in caves for a little while?
No, that was like a rite of passage thing, you know. It's not like every day we lived in a cave.
Wait. What is a rite of passage? Because does that mean they don't accept you unless you live in a cave?
Sort of. They're different. You see, it gets really complicated when you're dealing with multiple
Jaquet.
clans. You know, they really want to prove themselves to the others, so it's complicated. We're talking about you here.
Wait.
Celebrate.
All right. Well, anyway, I grew up. I worked at a company. Do you know?
Koboko, right?
That's right. Yeah.
It's with the
Koboko.
business
Koboko,
cards.
Yeah. And
What else do you do? I'm
just
so
kinda
fascinated.
build things. My grandfather owned it, so I was just kind
It's
of
a
raised.
family
Oh.
business.
It's a family business. That's right. So
Very good at building things.
I'm alright at best.
No,
But
no, you're very good at it.
A question.
Yep.
Family
Yes.
business, right? But you're not in the family business anymore, are you?
I kind of left it. Yeah.
Why?
I wanted to leave.
Did you want to adventure?
Kinda. I was also terrified at the same time, but my grandfather
I'd be.
left the company. I don't know where he is, so I'm
Oh.
figuring he's adventuring too.
Are you
Do you
looking
want to
for
find him?
Yeah, it's somewhat. Yeah, it's not my.
So did you
Maybe.
leave? Did you leave to find your grandfather?
It was my main objective, but yeah, if I could, that'd be
Well, what
great.
the fuck have we been doing? What the fuck have we got to help you find your grandfather? I almost called you Fearin. Bruce?
There's rumors that he was passed, so, but there's part of me
Oh.
that doesn't believe that. So
No. Did you
Well-
feel it? If you didn't feel it, it's not true.
That's not how that
Ah.
works.
That's how it
Well,
fucking
where-
works.
That's not how it works.
That's how it
Uh,
fucking works.
These rumors, Bruce. Where was he last said to be?
I don't know. I don't have anything. I don't have any. He just kind of got up and left. The co-owner of the Kobo Co. also is gone.
What?
Who was that?
Go on then.
So my grandfather partnered with another gentleman that actually brought my grandfather over to this continent. Yeah, he's missing as well. His name currently escapes me. I have to remember.
What's your grandfather's name?
Grampy Boone.
No, but like, what's his
Grampy
actual
Boone.
name? Like, if I wanted to, I don't know, actually help someone for the first time in my fucking life, what might I ask contacts for information about? Because Grampy Boone is not gonna get me fucking anywhere, Bruce, okay? I'm trying to fucking help you. Just give me something.
Oh, right,
What
Chuck.
if that's like
Jackie,
the name that
Jackie,
he goes
Jackie,
by, like
Jackie,
Jackie Two Shoes?
Jackie Oh, yes. Yes, you're not Jackie Touché anymore. You're Jackie Two Shoes. Also, calm the fuck down.
Boone. Just call him Boone.
Boone? No
Boone.
surname?
No,
Don't you kobolds have like clan names?
Grampy.
Yeah, Sean.
The business partner is Nettle.
Nettle. All right. Yeah, and his business partner was Nettle. Just remembered.
Well, I haven't heard of any like kobolds that have come through Hyven at all by those names, have I, Sean?
No.
Before this whole encounter or anything?
No, you would not have.
Okay. Well, I'm just so curious what brought you to Hyven. I mean, I'm not very well around town, but I don't recall hearing of any older kobolds passing through here.
There's not really anywhere else on this continent that's civilized.
So they have to be here.
It's Halcyon and the Aldhalor Islands. That's as far as I know.
Why do
I'm
you assume
sorry,
they went
Bruce.
somewhere civilized? If he's an
Maybe.
adventuring type.
Exactly, he would come here where it's a little more uncivilized.
Maybe he's
Without
in that
going
place
into the
we're
wilderness.
going to. The place where we're going to winter.
I wouldn't. Maybe, but if it hasn't been explored, then probably not. I mean, I'd assume he would not go anywhere too dangerous. I don't know my Grampy for being a fighter. Anyway,
Marquette's intentionally looking away from Sassy.
Just a little more, please. Just a little more. Keep us going.
Here,
Sorry,
Saskia,
Bruce, I am
got a
listening.
little bit more wine left. Here you go.
Oh,
You can have
thank
the rest
you.
of it.
Oh, thank you. You're a good friend.
Enabler.
Yeah, so that's my deal.
Right, so we're going to look for Grampy Boone and your business partner. What else? Septimus, what's you said, if I remember correctly, that I reminded you said this a while ago, and I don't know if I still do, maybe not, about of your sister, right? And you have a lot of siblings, or had a lot of siblings? I
did at one point, and my story is much less interesting of
I'm
Bruce's.
so fucking sick of you nerds getting down on yourselves.
I'm not down
Everything
on
is
myself.
interesting.
That's the
right?
pot calling the kettle black if I've ever heard it, Miss I'm Nobody, huh? And he's actually gonna smack her in the back of the head.
You're right. I am a fucking nobody, and I smack him back. You're so right.
No, that wasn't my intention. I was just saying that
you're right. I am a nobody. I'm
No,
I,
that's
I
not-
am a
No,
nobody.
look what
How
you
did
did.
how did I end up with cool people like you? I don't. Anyway,
Well, flattered
Septimus,
you would say that.
you were
But
saying,
I wasn't saying that in a self-deprecating way. I know who I am, but I was lowly raised on a farm, and I just want to get my farmstead back, which has left me to adventuring with you guys so I can acquire the funds to do so. But for you to say that you're nobody, you keep saying
I am
that.
nobody. I am a nobody. I haven't done anything interesting. I haven't done anything. I drink. I get drunk, and I'm my fucking scrapper. Not really a pirate.
Sounds like you just described yourself in a number of different ways, all of which does not amount to nobody.
Nobody
You're
knows
also
who I am. All these
a
people out
member
here.
of Iron and Mana, which by default does not make you a nobody. I told you before, Saskia.
Yeah.
I do not travel with nobodies.
After that performance,
travel
everyone in
with-
this bar knows who you are.
Yes, but you travel with people who get you things. You're doing it for your own good. You don't really care about us, and that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
because
good.
that's who
I'm
you
glad
are.
you're okay with that.
Not really. I'm just saying that.
Sea Witch, you're badass as hell. You kicked so much ass in that last fight. Do you see Bruce doing anything at all that was useful? I didn't. You were killing people left and right.
All
Bruce
his
is
traps
pissing.
went to waste.
Yes. You
Those
clearly
I
can't
don't-
see.
tentacles that come out of the sky and on the ground. That
Fear, and
was
I
insane.
don't want to celebrate killing people because I'm actually still pretty fucked up about that.
But you're so good at it.
It's, again, we're talking about bandits that were putting a stranglehold on the good people of Billowgrass.
I know,
What
but
you
that
were doing
doesn't...
was helping the innocent, the defenseless. You were doing
But
what
if
heroes
they
do.
what if they were helpless and defenseless, and they didn't have any other choice but to be a
What
bandit?
the fuck is wrong with you? And
What the
Jaquet
fuck is
stands
wrong with
up
you?
now, and he
Well,
goes,
these
I'm a
two
"Why are you
stand-up too."
defending? Why
Oh
are
my
you
God.
defending people that have done nothing but harm to others?"
Why are you defending people you know nothing about?
And it's
They
at that
tried
point,
to kill us.
as you say, it's in the tried to kill us. You exactly as that kind of like peak of yelling at each other happens, Jaquet, you hear a very low whistle from the other side of the room. At this point, things have gotten quiet in the bar. It's late. You guys have been drinking heavily, and you all look over at that whistle, and you see Reardon, the wild magic sorcerer, at the bar, watching you all.
Whoops.
You.
Speaking of, no, none of you engage. You're just going to fuck up what I'm trying to do. And he's going to gracefully, hopefully, step down and go, continue talking about how you're nobody and how you've got nothing and blah, blah, blah. And feel sorry for yourself. Please go
Why
ahead.
you instigate
stick
while
my
you're
leg
leaving?
out
It
as
doesn't
he's
make
leaving.
any sense.
I'm gonna try and trip him.
Okay. With disadvantage, I would like you to give me an
That's fair.
athletics check. And you may do an athletics or acrobatics check.
All right, with disadvantage, it was a 17.
I'm gonna assume I'm disadvantaged with my.
Oh yes, yes,
intoxication.
because you're also drunk. Yes.
17.
Oh,
Let's roll
we gotta do it
again.
again.
Roll off. Rollies.
Rollies. 15.
21.
Damn it.
Sass, you go to trip him, and you kind of like you're like stretching your leg out because it's a elevated booth.
Yep.
And you stretch your leg too far so that your butt comes off the seat and you just fall under the table. as Jaquet, you're very like you caught your foot, like maybe you were about to trip stepping down, and you notice it. You just turn around, catch your foot, and look graciously before heading over.
Smooth.
Shut up.
Well, anyway,
Saz, you say you want to be somebody, but who does that person look like to you?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't. You know. That's the thing, Septimus. I don't know who I am. Have you ever felt that before? It's pretty fucking scary. I can do cool magic, and I have a voice that talks in my head. That's about it. Nobody wants to be friends with a weirdo.
You may not believe it, but I do kind of know how you felt. My whole life, I believed in the spirits, that they would guide us, protect us. Did everything we could to keep them happy. Had a large family, mother, father. One started getting sick, hurt. We picked off one by one. When the great storm finally came, I was the only one that was left. Left with nothing. Just me. My faith was gone. And I wasn't sure where to turn. But I decided that day that it wasn't over. There's always something to work towards and fight for. You sit here and you say you're not sure who you are, even with your name. It's who you want to be. Do you know what my name literally means? My name literally means 7. The number 7. My parents had a farm and they just needed helpers, hands to work the fields. That was literally my purpose. For a time. But after everything I'd been through, I wasn't going to have that define me.
Where did you find that strength?
Was it with Sal?
Sal was part of it. And that's why I kind of mentioned to you two before. My sister Sess, who I was closest with. She had a lot of that strength. I want to be as much like her as I can. And I know that she's gone. Not dead. Just gone, but I don't long to see her because I know that she's alright. I know she's doing well.
You don't even want to see her just even a little?
I do.
Just to know that... I don't know. Just to know that the part of your life is still there.
Well, my aversion to that is still somewhat afraid of what she thinks that I've become. And maybe I don't want to know that answer.
What does she think that you've become? Some sort of monster?
Maybe. She left before the flood hit our house, so she doesn't know. For I know she could still be worshipping the spirits just as she did when she left.
Was it a friendly parting?
Not really. She was twins with my other brother, and he had an accident where he passed away.
Oh.
Although we were close, there was nothing separating those two. That's what kind of broke her, I think, led her to leave.
I'm sorry.
And do you have a lead on where she might have went?
Not a clue.
Well,
I was told at the time, or was dismissed by my father, who said that she had forsaken the family to the spirits and everything and such between, and to forget all about her. So I don't have any information of where she could be.
well, while we're looking for Grampy Boone, we'll look for Sessa.
The sentiment's nice, but the point that I was trying to get at is, at least I guess to answer your question, I draw my inspiration and strength from being inspired by others. And I don't know if that may help, but I think when it comes down to it, you need to decide the person that you want to be, who you are, and then the name that just comes with it.
Septimus, I never realized how sad your story is. All that stuff you went through. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, I apologize as well for being a little harsh on you.
I want to give him a big hug, like an overly vicious hug.
You get this big bear hug from Theron as he pulls you in. You feel the wetness of his cheeks as he brings you in.
Thank you, Fionn.
You got a big heart, my friend. A heart of steel, or maybe of iron. You know, iron and mana.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the iron.
And with this sentimental moment, we are going to go ahead and jump to a break. When we come back, we're going to have a brief little combo between Jaquet and his little employee, and then we will have your drunken sleep, and we'll see what happens next. All right, folks, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, so please stick around, and we'll see you all very soon to continue the adventure. Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor. We have just had a lovely premiere performance by Jaquet Touché, and then a nice celebratory drink afterwards, where our heroes got a little sentimental, as well as argumentative, and they were offered a potential job by a head researcher of a project at the Academy, Professor Essa Hythen, a Firbolg researcher. That would take them very far away for a long time, so it is, while a well-paying job, one that is a big investment. Then our good friend Jaquet saw one of his people who owe him favors by the bar, who he is sauntered on over to. So we're going to jump in with that. So, Jaquet, you can see Reardon there, the familiar wiriness and thinness of his body, and haggard look as he is just sort of leaning against the bar. He's got this, very, very dull poncho on that has a hood. Same clothes he had in Billowgrass underneath. Still kind of looking the seedy part, but a little bit more subtle. As he looks to you and kind of just holds up a shot glass that he has to you.
Jaquet clinks the top of his wine glass to it, not too hard, and takes a swig, and he goes, Reardon, my friend, it's good to see you. How are you settling into the city life?
It's better living with the little bit that I got than being dead or indentured or whatever happened to those other people.
Yes. I think they're living honest lives or something like now. Who cares, right?
Yeah, those fucks are not living any honest life. I can guarantee that.
Well, neither will you, so I
Guess everyone ended up in the same place.
That's fair. I saw the posters of a tabaxi named Jaquet Touché. And you told me to find you. So I have. Welcome back.
I did. You, what have you been up to the past few days that you've been here? I can't imagine it's been long.
No, not been too long. Just settling in, finding a place to stay. And it's not too expensive and a little out of the ways. Plenty of homes in the Lighthouse District. Don't cost much, as you joked about.
I know,
on
I said
stage.
that exact thing, yes. How do you find the orphans? Annoying or
They're harmless.
good source of information?
Oh, that's what I thought too.
In fact, there's one of them that might be of more useful information than others.
Well, I am in your employ and service.
I really have to go back in my notes. I apologize. I should have had this prepared. I believe his name is Omar.
Omar. Suppose I can ask around. There's plenty of these kids hopping from the rooftops.
Yes, a 15-year-old goes by the name of Omar. He supposedly was one of the only eyewitnesses to a murder that happened in the Temple District.
Okay. You want me to find this kid for you?
Yes.
All right.
Find out what he knows. Just so you've got some information on it. And I'm going to give him the information. Can't find the name of the victim.
There were
There's
Hugo.
Sorry.
Pascal is one, and then the other
Right.
one is Martin Escaroff.
and then so basically whatever Kellen had told us, and
Yep.
I mean what's able to find in the news. One's skull was crushed, the other had their throat slit. And that, Omar, so basically just giving him the information so that when Reardon questions the kid, he has
The
some
knowledge.
background.
Reardon would take all this information in, and then, like, as you finish saying all of that up, he kind of finishes his shot of whiskey in that slow shot taking way some people do, and looks at you and says, "Is that the kind of work we're doing around here? Investigations into murders?"
For now, we'll see where the winds take us. You and me. For now, we're gonna keep things above board.
Is this still a good place to find you?
Of course. You heard the proprietor, Oren, or not the proprietor, but the barkeep, Oren. Once a month, you can find me here. And I'll make sure to stop by every now and again. If you ever need me, and Jaquet's gonna gesture to the notice board.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna say, leave a notice for... Oh, shit. I have to get to Jaquet's back. Leave a notice for Babidi-Bidi-Boo and the Skippity-Boppity-Scribbity-Doo.
I think he's got that.
Hope's Bastion. Leave a notice asking for Hope's Bastion and a place to meet. Give me at least a few days to make sure that I get it in time.
You see he grins at this and, like, mouths the words Hope's Bastion. and nods to you as he kicks himself off the bar and nods to you and begins to walk away.
And Reardon,
Yeah,
you don't know me.
never saw you. And he walks out with a grin.
And turning to no one in particular, Jaquet goes, "Oh, I'm really glad I didn't have to pay him. I didn't really know what the going rate for a lackey is." As he goes to finish his wine and walk back to the group.
And that's when I had to abandon my wife and my noble heritage and give all my money away to the poor. And that's why I'm here with you guys now.
Oh,
Did
Fia,
all
I'm
of
so
that happen
sorry.
before you stowed away on this bone rattler?
Yeah.
I have a question for all of you. So you know that I hear someone in here, right? I've told you that.
Yeah,
You
you
Your
know,
patron,
mentioned it.
yes.
We've made an agreement with an outer being.
Right. Here's the thing. I don't remember making their agreement. Well, that's not entirely true. I remember making the agreement. I don't remember. No, that's not true. I remember why.
Well, what is your earliest memory?
Well, I remember waking up on a boat. And somebody asked me what my name was on the boat, and I said Saskia. That was the first thing that came to my mind, but I know that's not my real name. And the voice is telling me that... Yes, Sean.
Just give me an insight check.
Me?
Yes.
14.
Okay, there's a pang in your head of like an almost memory before that. You don't remember it. It doesn't come to fruition, but all you know is you are terrified of it.
So, in that case, so I'll be talking, and then all of a sudden I'll just stop and like sheer horror for like a split second. Breathing. Actually,
No. What the fuck was that?
Sass, you
What?
hear bubbles. And then
some water in my ear.
Are you right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. My question is, and Septimus, this goes to your point of knowing who I want to be. Do you think I should maybe just stop listening to the voice and be my own person? That's how you become your own person, right? You stop listening to other people and just do whatever the fuck you want, right?
Sean,
yes.
No.
can we give I don't know if we need a history check or arcana check for patrons and how deals work?
Yeah, go ahead and give me either Arcana, History, or Religion.
Okay.
Could I do the same?
Yep, anyone can.
Cool.
Jaquet has his own opinions on patrons and warlocks, whether or not they're based in reality.
I'm Jaquet, I'm trying to find that book you made up.
Yeah,
I have it in my notes somewhere.
Quite making things up.
making things up. Galvin's theories on patronage.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What did you all get? Who rolled?
14.
I rolled an arcana and I got a 23.
I rolled history.
And you got a 14?
Yeah, and I'm just trying to see if I know what a
And what was it
patron is
again,
and
Bruce, what was it?
23.
Roll? 23. Okay. Septimus, did you roll?
No.
You want to know how much you know about, or if you know what a patron is and sort of that warlock relationship.
Yeah, just like like the ties to it,
Mm-hmm.
and what it takes to be a patronee.
Yes. And then Fearn, what are you trying to discern with your history roll?
I just want to see if I remember, because there were warlocks back in the day where I used to come from, and I just wanted to see, like, from what I know about them, were they more successful when they were following their patron, or when they were not disobeying, but doing their own thing?
Actually, Sean, scratch that. Can I roll in hindsight, if that's okay?
Yes.
But I want to
allow
look for
that.
something different. I want to know if I know of any elemental spiritual beings of the ocean that could be her patron.
All right, go ahead and give me a...
Given her tentacles and seawater and all that stuff that she has mentioned in the past.
Absolutely. Give me a history, arcana, or religion check. And then I will discern what you all know.
Oh,
Dirty 20.
Septimus.
And what was it?
Very nice.
Dirty 20.
Oh, what was the type of roll?
Oh, sorry, arcana.
Cool. Okay, so I'll start with Fearn. Fearn, you have heard stories of warlocks in the past. I will say, generally speaking, all of you know the term warlock, for sure. And you know generally that warlock is a catch-all term for anyone who's made some kind of pact or deal with an outer being that is not based in worship, but based in exchange, and is entirely, in some ways, a bonded thing that is very difficult to get out of. Fearn, in your experience and stories, Northerners who have engaged in patronage rarely have a happy ending in their stories.
The skull blades.
Exactly, and the ones that you have heard about and seen and heard stories of, they don't seem to look exactly like Sasses, in the sense of like aesthetic and like types of magic. You've seen a lot more fiendish patronage that has a very distinct aspect to it. Sasses is extremely similar, just with a different spin on it. Like, it's still, you can tell, disorienting to her, and like you're not sure what stage this is, but you know that like rarely do they end happily, and that's kind of the extent to your knowledge. Bruce, you know with the 23 that patronage of outer beings is illegal in Halcyon. It is illegal to tamper in deals with outer beings. The Halcyon Convergency strongly encourages people to avoid any interaction with outer beings, save for the permitted religious rites and the sanctioned religious organizations. So they outright within the communities of Halcyon have banned patronage and warlock, which can vary in punishment. It can be as low as a fine and imprisonment. It can be as high as, depending on the patronage, execution, to forced exorcism. And generally, you know, like the concept of they make some kind of deal with an outer being.
And exorcism has worked before?
With a 23, I would say, from your knowledge, the rumors people say, the things people talk about, is it's bullshit. It doesn't actually work, and that sometimes they like either still kill the person, execute them, they disappear, and some have even been more brutally subdued in other ways, like imprisonment, or even the worst you've heard is lobotomization. To pacify them, make them useless to their patron. Septimus, you have heard of elemental patronage. This is definitely a thing that has been you don't know anyone who's done it, but you have heard stories of people who have wandered into the woods and fallen through a veil and come out different, with a different step and a different motivation. Most of the folk who might in your circles have talked about this been like almost talk about it in more of a folklore way, or more like almost like a fae way, where it's like, oh yeah, did you hear? Old Betty's son wandered out into the woods. Heard he made a deal with a hag or two. He walks all weird now. He's got a bit of a limp, and one of his eyes ain't right. But knows how to do tricks now. And I heard he knows how to water his farm a little bit better. But I also heard that he murdered someone else. But I don't put much into rumors about that kind of stuff. That kind of thing. Like very, very, very country rumor. Now, as far as this sort of water-based tentacled entity, this is a more interesting thing. You don't have full knowledge of it, but if you were to go somewhere with books, you could research into this more, and you do believe there might be some domain of the sea that you could research more into to possibly identify potential candidates, essentially, for this patron. Okay. And basically, with your role, you discern it's not impossible to try to figure out who this entity is.
Yeah. Going back to the original question that Shannon asked Septimus, which was what again?
I was asking the group. If I should cut ties, essentially. Do you think it's a good idea? So I can be my own person.
I don't know if it works like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what they mean is that with the not understanding fully the nature of which you made this deal with this person, if it's something that you did want to pursue, then we'd have to figure out more of why maybe you've done this in the first place.
Well, I know why. Do I know why I did it? I know why I did it.
Only thing you know is a vague feeling that you desired adventure.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't know, like, the conversation you had with this entity.
Sure. Yeah, okay. I mean, I know why I did it. I was bored. I wanted something more exciting. And I got it. So in that sense, I guess it was worth it.
You have no clue whatsoever what that boring life was. Like, you don't know your status, class. You don't even know, like, anything other than that you woke up. I believe it was 4 years ago.
That sounds right.
And you've been Saskia ever since.
Yeah.
Shannon, high or low?
Low.
No,
okay.
I need to roll.
Roll me a d20.
$16.
As you're talking about this, like, and this is gradual, so you don't have to react right away.
Mm-hmm.
The infected cut on your cheek, which is less infected now, because Bruce did some healing on it, begins to
smack the metal.
Smack the metal, so it's still open, but it is no longer infected. Begins to sting, as if someone was pouring salt water in it.
Means
slow trickle of salt water into it, so you're kind of like it's over and over and over.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna get to that in a second, but yeah. Cool. Jaquet, did you want to say something?
I don't know why you would give up a source of power. I mean, for you, this patron gives you power, and so you should pursue that, right? You want to be on top, you want to be someone, you use their powers to elevate you. What do you think I do with all this gold, right? Right? Yeah. I'm nothing without the gold. I'm nothing without all that behind me. You know?
I think you're talking a little idealistic, Jaquet. I mean, if we're sneaking around and, Saskia wants to go steal the guard's, picture of his daughter in his pocket, I don't think it's a good idea in the moment.
Well,
what the fuck are you? What does that mean?
Haven't you seen her try to steal things? Maybe it's her patron talking to her. I don't know. I'm assuming
It's-
here.
sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't.
When you did what she asked, she gave you power, right?
Yeah, I did feel powerful. I didn't lick the rock though.
Listen,
Right. And imagine what would have happened if you did.
Well, I don't know.
I've
next
seen a
time-
lot of warlocks in my day, and I have to agree. The pact, it doesn't usually end well, and from my experience, that's usually due to either the pactee not living up to the expectations of the pactor and being punished for it, or one being too weak to defend themselves. So, as an adventurer and working with us, and seeing as you don't know anything about your old life, it only makes sense to keep doing what your patron wants, at least for the time being.
Fearn, sorry to interrupt, but I just remembered she's actually asked me to take your eye before. I'm just remembering.
Case in point.
I'm just remembering. I'm not going to. At least I don't want to. But that's.
Has she
Which
ever
eye,
wanted to
the
harm?
good eye or the bad eye?
This magic eye. Isn't Musicbed's magic?
Yeah.
That's one. Gosh.
Has she asked you to harm any one of us?
No. And
Has she? How about anybody else?
Has she?
Not.
She kind of said like she said like to kill Fearn to get his
Yeah,
eye.
I remember specifically.
she
But, like,
was,
not- yeah.
She's basically told you at that time to do whatever you could to get his eye, even if it
Right.
involved killing him.
To kill. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Bruce, no. And even if she did, I think I'd have a chat and be like, no, I don't do that.
And does she hurt you when you disobey her? Also, why are you
As I
covering your
have-
cheek right now?
As I have my hand on my cheek. All right, you got me. I didn't fucking scrape it on a rock. She gave me this.
Of course she did. What? I mean, come on. Really? You think that anyone bought that bullshit?
Does you feel a twitch in your cheek?
Fuck. What does it look like? Is it red? It fucking hurts.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, it
Little
looks like
pussy.
a very jagged cut. It's clean right now because of Bruce, although it is kind of getting infected again. Sass, it feels like something, like the pain you're feeling now is intensified, and it feels like something is digging through your skin.
All right, maybe we should. Fuck. All right. I'll fucking stop. All right. Let's change the topic of conversation. Fuck.
When she
you want
takes
me
her
to-
hand away,
Ah.
you all would see a little tendril, like.
Ah!
Has anyone ever
By
seen?
the
Has anyone ever
Crescent
seen what a barnacle actually looks like?
Yes.
Yes.
The head. It basically you just saw the head of a barnacle come out of her cheek.
What?
Is it still like out or like? is it-
The tendrils are out right now and curled
All right.
up.
Jaquet is gonna try to grab it and rip it.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Can I just make an attack roll?
A melee attack roll.
Yeah.
Yes, I will allow that. I'll allow you to give. This is what I'll do. Is I'll allow you to do a melee attack roll, and that'll essentially like get you to latch onto it, and then I'll give you an advantaged athletics check to pull it out.
Okay, cool. So that's a 25 to hit.
You grab it
Yeah.
before it can like retreat into her skin. Go ahead and give me an advantaged athletics
fuck
check
are
to
you
rip it
doing?
off.
Ow! Just no, fucking leave it.
15.
Ah.
What the hell's going on?
It wriggles. And like those of you with the best, like who are proficient in perception, can hear the very slightest like chittering sound from it, almost like a long, horrifying chirp as it is you're still holding on to it, but it is stuck. It is stuck. You can't pull it off.
Quit. Fucking leave it alone. Just let it go. Ow. Just let it. It's fine.
Let it go. And he goes, you have a fucking barnacle inside you.
Let me, can I?
Just leave it. Just don't look at me. No, it's fine. It's fine. Just forget I said anything. Forget I said anything.
That's not how this works.
But maybe with this, you could sleep on what you want to do going forward. But it doesn't look good, Sass.
Yeah.
I feel like you're being punished for not doing what your patron told you to do.
I fucking get it. All right, let's move on.
But if you try and take my eye, I'll beat the crap out of you.
Fair enough.
Sass, you now hear at odd times just this very, very quiet chirping behind your ear. Just sort of that.
Like the same
like,
ear where the,
yep.
Yep.
Yep, just sort of this clicking, like the clickers in The Last of Us. Just
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Fear
Every time it does, I'll do like a little head jerk. Every time it does.
Fear takes a big swig after hearing the chitters. Gave him a little chill down his spine. He says, well, I suppose everybody's sharing stuff, so I might as well give a little honesty.
Yeah, how'd you get here? You're not from... Sorry. Continue.
It's been a long journey for me.
Also, how old are you?
I said a monologue. Come on, man. What the fuck?
He's just so tall and beefy. I don't know.
Let him cook.
I'm not that old. I'm only like 300. I don't know how tiefling ages work in Sean's
they
campaign.
live normal human lives.
300. I would say Fearn's probably like prime of youth, like 25, maybe.
I can tell you the exact age you said he was. Actually, no, never mind.
What was that?
No, never mind. You gave me the age before I told you how long tieflings live.
I probably
so
said
25 is
something
good.
like
25 is good. Yeah, you said he was 222 years old. 25.
I was pretty close.
200 years off.
Well, where I come from, we've got very strict rules, and it's some stuff happened, and me and my stepbrother, we didn't really play by those rules, and although I still believe in the clan's ideals and their ways, I was forced to leave.
So why were you exiled?
I killed someone.
Was
Someone
that someone in the
important.
clan?
Yeah.
What was it, Fear? It's alright if you don't want to share.
It was a long time ago, okay? It was a bad situation, and I had to make a choice, and I still don't know if it was right. But my stepbrother, he made it out alive with me, and I'm not sure. He says he does, but I'm not sure if he ever will really forgive me. And I have no idea where he is now. Well, I know what he's doing, but it's not gonna... Let's just leave it at that.
All right.
Okay.
Well, how did you get here? So, I mean, it's
And
kind
what
of
brought
far.
you to the Diablo?
Well, after all of that, I decided that I'd better just live my own life. It didn't make sense to follow my brother's fruitless quest, so I decided I was going to just travel and see the world and adventure a bit. I ended up getting in with some not so favorable crowds and fought my way all the way south. Eventually, I found a boat. I didn't have any money, so I needed to stow away, and
Stowaway.
here we are. I met Saskia there, and later on, Jaquet, and it's all history from there.
So you haven't had a whole lot of time in, I guess, actually civilized areas. I mean, not that your clan wasn't civilized. Sorry, we don't mean to say that. Just larger community is what I mean to say.
I've been about south for maybe 2 years now, but I haven't learned much. I tend to stick to areas where they won't judge me for my appearance.
Yeah, and
Safer
Clay,
that way.
Clay, you would have probably spent a good chunk of that time in the free ports of the near Halcyon, where your people did a lot of trading. And if that's mentioned, Bruce, you do know of these free ports. They're kind of like the edges of Halcyon territory, where people are, in your perspective, you might even see it as a little more uncivilized part of Halcyon, where people are living in dangerous areas because it's profitable to trade in those areas.
Okay.
I learned a lot about Halcyon from my father, who used to train me in magics. Yeah, we did have some trading going on for a few years. But that's all I couldn't really live there with the knowledge that I had. It seemed like there was a lot of discrimination, and I wanted to start fresh, so I hopped on a random boat and headed
fucking
down
boat.
to the Afdals.
Could you ever go back? Is there some redemption that you can undertake?
Bjorn's quiet for a really long time,
We'll vouch for you.
and then he says, "No, it's impossible."
Well, maybe one day it will be possible if you.
It's not possible.
All
It
right.
isn't gonna happen.
I'm sorry, is it not going to happen or is it impossible? Those are two very different things.
Well, either way, you'll find a new clan.
I'd go as far as to say is that you found one.
Oh, disgusting, Saskia. I knew you were going to say
What?
something
I
corny
mean,
like that.
come on. How can I not? It was right there.
I like the corny part. You guys are my new clan.
Here
And
you
I
go.
raise my drink. Here. Next round's on me. For the clan of Iron and Mana.
Clink.
Grudgingly, Jaquet raises the almost empty wine.
We've got Gloveless, Sea
Good
Witch, the Ironheart, Septimus,
Ooh.
and Sweet Bruce over here.
Ah, thank you.
Ironheart.
Sweet Bruce is. But I don't. That's
Well,
his
he's always
friendly
giving
name.
out sweets.
But his name is Bruce. You just. You know, I
So
don't
we'll call him.
understand your
We'll call him
culture.
Sweets. His name's
And
Sweets.
as this cheer happens in a minor argument immediately after, like the Iron and Mana crew does, the camera pans out into the bar at a lower level, watching you all in the corner, enjoying yourselves a little bit. The sounds of your discussion echoing into the night as you've grown to know each other a little bit more and learned a bit about why each of you are here, and what kind of makes you tick a little bit. You all can finish your drinks and retire for the evening. We're going to do another round. I'll say that would be 8 silver from Fearin for the next round.
Oof. Okay.
Sean, I'm gonna go sleep in the hostel tonight. I'll let Jaquet
Okay.
have the room to himself.
Great.
And
Instead
I've got a disgusting face, so I don't think anybody wants to see it.
Admittedly, when the barnacle goes back in, it is still just a cut. Like, it's not like you have a barnacle shell there. It's almost like you are the barnacle shell.
What?
And you all can retire for the evening. Somewhat sated and somewhat, maybe with a little bit of excitement for this new clan. Jaquet.
Jaquet stops by the bar and tapping the empty wine bottle, he goes, Oren, I believe it's time for my dues.
That's right. That's right. All right, then. Let's see here. I'll do a little bit of counting back there with my staff. And let's see what we yeah, all right. Counting up all the drinks during your performance. What is it we guaranteed you? Yeah, remind me of our
One
contract.
moment, please.
My math here is correct. So you owe me 10,000 gold pieces.
A percentage of drinks during the performance, a base rate of 5 to 10 silver. That's all I wrote.
Okay.
Yeah, offers 5 to 10 silver a night with 2 guaranteed nights a month.
All right then. See, and you see he starts to he takes out he opens up a drawer at the bar that you can see behind it after kind of fiddling with a lock, and you can see there is just sort of like this is just like the money drawer. Like he doesn't have a cash register, they just literally drop their gold in what is actually just a physical wooden drawer that has a lock on it. And he starts to take out silvers from that, having already counted it. All right, then. We got this and this and this. We got your base right here. All right. This is a good night. This is a good night, Jackie. You did fucking great. All right. Let's see. Carry the 2, right? And, all right, we've got 55 silver for you tonight.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
And you see he starts to count that out into a coin purse. And he's like, it's a very good night for us here. If we can keep this up, you and me, mate, we'll be fucking rich.
Well, you know, maybe you would talk to your boss about some more regular performances. Maybe some, an advertising budget or something, make the rounds.
Oh, Mr. KI is going to love this. Love this. And I will say, in our experience as a business, the real show of steel for a bard is a second performance. You can maintain your numbers, and we're looking at serious business here.
Well, I guess I'll have to go on another adventure and get another banger of a tale out of it, huh?
Whatever you need, mate, to get that inspiration. I love it. I really do. Really,
So,
actually, a good fucking job. I enjoyed it. I'm not just saying that because you made me money.
I aim to please. So, when is my next performance? Do you want to put something in the books?
And you see he smiles wide, and he you hear the door very quickly physically close, and then from under the table he pulls out a big ledger and starts opening it up. All right then, I think we can get something on the books. That's right. This was today is the 25th of September. It's a good trial run. If you're interested, we can get you back in here in 2 weeks.
That sounds phenomenal to me, my friend.
Yeah, right. That gives me enough time to get a little bit better posters out there.
Hmm.
And you see he smirks as he says that.
Maybe, headline is Jaquet Touché, but in the smaller print, you put my actual name.
You see he looks at you as, oh, I think we can do that. We can accommodate your requests.
Much obliged, my friend.
All right. So it's the 25th. It's the lens in 2 weeks. What we're looking at there. We're looking at the 9th of Anarum. 9th of Anarum. We'll have you back in here. Get our lens crowd back and see if we can make the same or more money even. Think you can come up with new stories in 2 weeks, because it'll be mostly the same folk. They're the ones who know you at this point. Maybe with some new ones if we're lucky and the advertisements work.
Oh, don't worry. If not new material from adventures, I have plenty of memories to pull upon.
Fair enough. I love it. Well, I'm sure I'll see you before then, but we'll do business in 2 weeks.
Oh, without a doubt.
Holds a hand out, shake yours.
Jaquet slaps it in, gives it a hearty how do you do. Does a little salute, and then scampers off like the little scamp he is.
Excellent. Yes.
If possible, on our way back to the
Cask
Cask and Crow, thank you. Oh no, Stefan said no. Never mind. If I can catch up with, or I guess I would wait for Jaquet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
try
we'd
to
all.
chat with
I would
him.
be waiting
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I
have a
imagine
chat
everyone's
with him on
waiting
the walk
for him.
back.
Yeah.
Sure.
You guys are walking up Main Street. When you get to the end of Main Street, you'll probably split up. Well, really, just Sass will split away because she's gonna go stay at the
Go to the
hostel.
Jaquet, I mean to ask how are you feeling? Not just after the performance and all, but I guess in general.
You see, he sombers a little, and he kind of tugs at the shell necklace that he's started wearing since his incident. And kind of shakes it off, and he's like, every day's a blessing, am I right, my friends? We just gotta take it one step at a time.
Where did you get that necklace?
Oh, this, I'm not sure. It just appeared in my bag one day,
That's not how that works. I mean, it actually might, but
No shit, Bruce.
Well, I figured it as much of a response, but I thought I'd ask. Given the nature of what we discussed with Sass tonight, I feel now that her patron may be elemental in nature, and the means of your, resurrection. I fear that. Well, I don't fear, but I'm curious as to what may happen in the days to come. If you have any visions or feelings of gravity towards. I'm sorry, what the hell's his name?
Aeolus?
Aeolus, thank you.
Eyeless.
Eyeless. So it's eyeless. So at least just keep an eye out for that.
I'll make sure to keep my senses open. But I'll keep looking over my shoulder looking for that damned bone ship.
Okay. Just wanted to check in.
What did you did I mean, I wasn't here, and neither was Persico, but did he explain what he saw?
Oh,
What did you see?
what did I see? You want to know? You want to know what I fucking saw when I died, Bruce? At this, he kind of like gets down at his level and is like looking him eye to eye. Have you ever had the gravity of all your sins pressed against you? Have you ever seen the fires of hell reflecting in your eyes? Have you ever seen an island of salvation just out of reach? The sweet sound of a fiddle teasing your ears? Because that's what I fucking saw.
Sean, do I know anything about the Fiddler's Green?
I don't think I described it that way.
I mean,
Yes, Septimus. It is a well-known folklore tale in the Aldhalor Islands that a sweet, sweet afterlife exists called the Fiddler's Green that is mostly prescribed to by sailors, less so by folk in the country, although they know the tale.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm sorry I had to go through that, Jaquet.
As I tried fruitlessly to paddle away from the death ship of the abyss that chased me down, the bones of all those dead before me, I fell, slipped between the cracks of the raft, sinking, drowning, before I saw him. What do you call him, Septimus? The old man in the sky? Is that what he's called,
Eyeless
Sean?
one?
Yes.
Eyeless?
yes.
Yeah. The old man in the sky.
that's what most call them in these parts.
And with him, this Jaquet procures the two bejeweled dice. A pair of dice, sinking with me, as if my luck had run out. But lo, he says, clapping them and then opening his hand again, the dice no longer there. It turns out it wasn't. And Fjern here, Jaquet says, slapping him on the back, saved my ass somehow. So really none of it fucking matters, right?
It kind of matters. Whatever it was that I freed there, it's out now, and I don't know what that means. Could mean our deaths.
I thought you were all about, like, the natural stuff, right? Clearly that elemental was trapped in the crystal. And freeing him just set things right. And in his benevolence, he chose to set things right and knew that my time had not yet come. And I still had many a performance to put on.
I may respect the spirits, but they're not the spirits I know are not the benevolent kind.
Couldn't believe. I can't believe. Oh, Jesus Christ! I can't freaking speak. I couldn't agree more, Fjern.
In all your minds, you picture the absolute destruction of the farm when you left the next morning. The fact that this spirit didn't save Jaquet's life and then flee into the skies. It raged, and devastated the land for miles around with a great storm like most of you have never seen before, save Septimus.
There was a massive storm, and even when we were in that airship crash, there was elementals going crazy once they were freed.
Sure, but I mean, I don't know what it's like to be an elemental, but if I was ever, as myself, contained in a small vessel, forced as a piece of power, I would be a little pissed off too. So you know what? I'm gonna give the old man in the sky a pass. Because what? He was experimented on by Dalen? Kept in a rock? That's no life for any creature.
Anything in possession of Dalen, even if it's a rat. Yeah.
You didn't seem to act that way when we were crystallizing raccoon spirits out on the farm, though.
Yeah, well, those raccoon spirits didn't save my fucking life, so, you know, you can have a change in perspective, alright? Oh, Jaquet's big awakening, he's getting so woke or whatever they say these days.
Just be wary.
So, like, understanding.
He just makes a face at Bruce, and then to Septimus, he goes, I'm always wary, right? Always looking over my shoulder, always double-checking the door.
You should be more wary. Those primeval spirits, they're just like patrons. You can't trust them. They'll be on your side at 1 minute, and then they'll ask something of you the next that you can't possibly pay.
You also don't have to put up a front. If you're scared of it, you can fucking tell us.
Why would I be scared? It saved my life.
I'm just saying.
I'm scared of it.
You don't have to hide behind your fancy words. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm terrified of everything, and I let everybody know that.
Look, I'm
You really need to work on that, though.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm afraid of plenty of things in life. Dying alone, being unknown, never finding love. Those are things I fear. What I don't fear is an entity that gave me life back. I respect it, he says, looking to both Fjern and Septimus. I don't fear it.
I suppose that's that. Can't convince you otherwise.
Right, well, I feel a fucking headache coming on, so I'm gonna go. And I'll see you in the morning. We're meeting at the Casking Crow tomorrow morning.
Well, if you know, that's where we'll be.
Sounds good.
Right. Good night. Thank you for listening, I guess.
Take
Yeah.
care, Septimus. And before you go, Septimus will just kind of like do a little prayer, like in his hands. I kind of just like extend a reach out, and he'll just cast Bless on Sass, just in
Aw.
case she has some trouble sleeping.
Aww.
Oh, the world of beings tonight.
1d4.
Yeah. And hey, and you can apply this little metal plate if you need it at some point.
It does
Don't
still
slap
sting,
it. Actually,
so-
you gotta slap it on.
You have to? Is that's...
It's kind of part of it, yeah.
Well, since everybody's helping out, I suppose
Yeah, you don't need... No, it's fine. You
I
don't-
cast protection for good and evil on her.
That's actually a pretty good one for this.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
It
I'm also
lasts
gonna-
10 minutes. Good
I'm
luck.
also gonna yeah, well, since we're at it, I'll also do heroism, and just finish it
Use
up
your
with
spell slots.
finish it up with
Ja-
grief.
Featherfall.
Jaquet
What else
just
we got?
finger guns her and goes, "You got this, Buttercup." Gives her bardic inspiration. You are inspired by being called Buttercup.
Amazing. Amazing.
Sass, yes, you have a significant number of
So
boons
many
from your
buffs.
friends. that I will say it does work. Like you were gonna have a hard night's sleep tonight. You were gonna be feeling some scuttling in your skull. Thankfully, all of your friends' support in your clan of ice and mana has settled your mind.
Iron, you.
What did I
fool.
say? Ice and mana? I don't know. Fearn's icy. That's where my brain went. Of iron and mana. Gives you some restful nights, despite the fact that there's a lot of like weird like snoring and grunting and spitting happening in this weird hostel where the cheapest sailors live.
I'm just picturing her patron. I'm picturing her patron just doing the Eric Andre main. Like,
just remember, Sass, that does cost 1 copper.
Yep.
I think her patron is Eric Andre.
Right. Can you imagine that? Like one day we
Yeah.
have a patron scene and she appears in her dreams at the Eric Andre show set. The patron just bursts out of the desk.
Hannibal Buress is just behind her.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Whoa, it's like Twin
Being like,
Peaks.
I
Yeah.
used to be.
I would love that.
That's actually really funny.
Nice.
Anyway, you all retire to your rooms and bed down for the evening. 1 gold for Jaquet, 2 silver for Fearn, 1 silver for Bruce and Septimus.
Oof, okay. I'm burning through my winnings so fast.
You really are.
Yeah, well, you gotta
They didn't
You
teach
gotta
money
work in this world.
management
You gotta work in this world.
Viking land.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you all get the sleep that you get fairly restful because there is generally a sense of, for most of you at least, maybe intoxication mingled with like a positive family feeling to the group of supporting each other. Maybe not. Jaquet, I imagine you feel the support of them supporting you like this, but like every emotion, you keep it at arm's length. As the rest of you maybe feel a little bit more confident that these people are there for you to a certain extent. But easy enough, you wake up the next morning on your Friday afternoon. Your Nenua day, or if you're from somewhere in the world, Yubella's dog. And can reconvene in the Cask and Crow. So you can decide what you all want to do moving forward. You can decide to engage in something active if you wish to, like the murder scenes and murder investigation. Or what we could do is we can do a downtime over the next couple days to allow you to do some other things that might be a little more downtime, like such as carousing or other things. I leave it up to you to discuss as you gather around the breakfast table what your next plan is. So, you awake. Some of you might have been awake for a little while now, doing your morning rituals. Others might be waking begrudgingly. Some of you waking up after sleeping in a little bit and rushing from the hostel to the morning breakfast meeting. But you are all there to discuss your next move.
Sorry. I slept y'all just... I actually slept fucking great.
Sass's cheek looks notably less bad.
That's good.
Good to hear.
Yeah, it feels better. Thank you. Thank you.
Want
Really.
You want a normal breakfast today? Well, I'll get you one.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep, there's like usual, there's the cheap, the mid-range, and the expensive breakfast. So there's, 5 copper breakfast, 1 silver breakfast, and the 3 silver breakfast.
There he is, Sweet Bruce, already living up to his friendly name.
Sweet has limitations.
Well, you could be sweet at, destroying people.
I like where I'm at. It's all right.
Well, anyway, enough messing around. We gotta earn some money, right?
What are you talking about? I just earned
55.
a lot. Yeah, I was trying to
Right.
think of how to like proportionally explain that to this group of
Yeah. Oh, I see.
poor, pathetic bottom dwellers.
Just to give you a quick menu for the breakfast, we have some barley bread
Can't
with some
resist.
soft cheese, with a mug of some, not a huge mug, but a small mug of a bitter brown ale for 5 copper. We have a very, very, very cheap boiled artichoke with a little thimble of cider for 3 copper. We have rye biscuits and bitter cheese with the same copper, same price, 3. We have a dried carp and turnip meal with a tankard of stout. That is the 1 copper meal for the day. The cheapest option is a little buckwheat bread with some whey cheese for 2 copper. And then you can also get some roasted carrots with a fresh fish that has been roasted with some bacon and some eggs and a nice drink of your choice for 3 silver.
Any cream of
That
wheat?
one.
Cream of wheat will run you 2 copper.
Wheat.
Wheat.
Rye muffin for me.
Lovely. A dried muffin will also run you 2 copper. Basically, the cheapest things that are just subsistence that are decent enough will cost you 2 copper.
Cool. Well, yes, you did a great job last night making us some money, and
Making me some money.
I made myself a little spending cash the night before, but you know, as a group, we need to work together to, you know, make ourselves more well known and get some group money flowing. You'd
Well,
agree about
everyone's-
that, right?
Going to be singing about iron and mana in our dealings with the elemental ailment of billowgrass after my performance last night.
And Fionn, you mentioned just advertisements of some kind, some like posters and whatnot.
Hey, Septimus,
Right.
did you ever look at the poster from the professor that talked to us last night? That was last night, right? I think I yelled at her.
Yes. Traveling back in time, Septimus grabbed the.
I've got it right here in
Yeah,
my
thing.
hand.
Yeah. Yes, you-
right here in my hand. God damn it.
Yes, you do have the advertisements.
Well, I mean, that does sound like a pretty good opportunity, but things are changing in this town, you know, with Governor Pajin coming, and I'd like to see how that turns out. If it interrupts, I'm hesitant to say yes if it means it's gonna ruin our momentum of, you know, doing all these awesome things
I
that
agree.
we've recently been up to, and I want to have a good reputation here.
And the money does sound good, but maybe we can at least hear what offer that Sigil gives us for the next job that he wants us to do and compare it. Maybe that could possibly be better. And those that have some good perception, you see that his eyes kind of like jut to the side. He's not being entirely truthful of why he doesn't.
Can I
wanna
roll
go.
an insight check?
Sure. Sure. If you want to give me a deception check, Septimus, anyone who wishes can roll an insight for
Yeah.
it. Notice what
Please
Mike
please roll
just
a 1.
described.
Oh, don't worry, it's me.
Fuck. Yeah, I win.
Of
Septimus, what did you
course.
roll?
Of course.
Don't worry, it's me.
I got a 5.
I got a 25.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'd say it's safe to say everyone notices
read my
this.
mind.
Well, Septimus, you seemed a little hesitant there. Do you have a different reason for staying?
Afraid of drowning.
What?
I'm afraid of drowning.
Oh, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
I
Lots
don't
of
want to be
people
on
are
a boat.
afraid of
I
drowning.
can't be on a boat after what happened. I just can't do it.
You know the boat's there so you don't drown, right?
Yeah, but being on open water, going and traveling with all this.
I know how to swim. I know how to swim. I can breathe and swim and all that stuff underwater. I'd save you if you fell over.
I don't know how to swim either, by the way.
I'd save you too.
So I don't know if you can carry 2 people.
I
Sure
wrestled
can.
a shark once.
That's true. He did.
It was impressive.
Very impressive.
Your
fears are very valid of not wanting to be on the water, but
Is there like a local pool we could?
Fear's
can
looking
take-
through
we
his
could-
bag, like trying to find.
There
a
is
shark
there
head.
is the shallows of the lagoon.
I can take you swimming. We could do some swim lessons.
It's not about swimming. It's literally having a wall of water be thrusted into your being. There's not much swimming will help in that.
Well, only if you
Alright,
fall over.
alright.
Exactly.
Septimus,
Just don't do that.
I can promise you, I won't let that happen.
Well, I stand by and let's see what other offers we have before
Sure.
we have that be our final decision.
Also, the Fearbug professor's job does not start for another month and a half, a little more. So we've got plenty of time to double dip. You know, we can do a little here, a little there, and then when the time comes, we skedaddle, go on a little winter vacation. Anyone? You know, didn't you ever go with your families on a vacation? Get out of
I
town.
don't remember.
It was
Oh.
always cold where I come from.
How wealthy were you?
I mean, I was the son of one of the guild leaders. I mean, come on. Everyone in Domuzerum knew my family's name.
I would say, despite the vagueness of what he just said, Bruce, you do understand like how wealthy a guild master would be. Like, Jaquet is fucking rich.
Yeah. Yeah. Which part of Gwenvilier were you in again? Boone.
Arathris. The Beastlands down to the south.
Oh, Boone told me that was like a really dangerous area.
Pish posh. I mean, some parts of it, sure.
Bruce, give me a history check.
Okay.
The Beastlands have nothing on where I come from.
Natural 20 for a
The
25.
Nice.
Touchard. The name is
The Bay of
familiar
Nor has
now. Suddenly the name is familiar.
salamanders,
Like
direwolves.
Trade Guild, Touchard. Something about that is just ringing a bell.
What? Wait. Your father part of a trade guild?
Well, I guess my grandfather, you know, he's the guild master. My father was never one for the business, but
And so you just you just left it all. That whole life, that wealthy, extravagant.
oh, don't worry, my friend. I brought some of the extravagance with me. I mean, come on. Do you see how I set myself up here?
Yeah, with these us lowlives, you just called us lowlives. Or
Bottom
bottom dwellers.
dwellers.
Yes.
Why would you go from fancy vacations to this?
I mean, his ship did fall out of the sky.
I was not meant to come to Hive. This is true. I was on a course for Halcyon, where I thought that I would fit in a little better with some of the folk. But I will say there's something about the city that just... Taking a deep breath in and, you know, gesticulating with his hands, feels right. You know, it's ripe for the picking.
You're only saying that because you made fucking money last night.
No. It was before that. It was actually the first time we were at the Otter Business.
Oh?
It just reminded me. When I was back home, I didn't always spend the time in the upper cities. Whatever these were called. I could find the document, but it's buried somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Instead, I actually spent most of my time down by the river harbor. Rubbing elbows with the common folk, having a good time.
I hear those axolotl men party pretty hard.
Oh no, I stayed away from them. They were fucking disgusting.
Hummus domo. There's tier domo, medi domo, and hummus domo.
Yes.
Humus domo is what it was.
We loved eating hummus in the humus domo. It was
But
chickpeas. Have you ever heard of them?
But the humidity is just horrible.
Oh my god.
Is that common?
You know, in Domus Arum, the high home of Draconum, capital of the Perceptum Confederacy, and Ferothris. You know, all that lore. In the Dracodomo cradle in West Ferothris.
Aw.
Capital of the beast folk, Gablanoids, and the ghosts of Renan and the like.
We never visited there in session one, in campaign 1.
It's true, you didn't go to Domus Arum.
Well, so is the goal then now to just make some money?
I guess. But there's things that I want to check out, especially at the Artificer's Workshop. I was thinking about practicing making enchantments on certain goods. Maybe selling those goods. We'll see.
Ooh, actually,
it's just another idea of mine.
you know, if you're looking to make some enchantments, I have a few ideas that I'd like to throw your way there, Brucey boy.
And what might that be?
Ed boy.
Ed the boy?
Sorry.
Well, you know, you remember that, the jacket that I took from Septimus's homestead? He says, trailing up at the end. Well,
The trench coat.
yeah, the trench coat. I was wondering if you could, I don't know, enhance it or enchant it somehow, maybe make it more stealthy when I use it.
I could definitely look into that. Make that
And
happen.
you know, I've been thinking, you know, and he gestures with his hand crossbow, and he's like, as great as this is, I've been meaning to get something with a little more range. And once I do, I don't know if you could, like, infuse it with some magic, maybe give it a magical +1 property or something like that.
You know, my knowledge has limits.
And
But-
also, my daggers could use some abilities, and I want these gloves to shoot fire. Do you think you could do that?
What do these cartridges do again? I already mixed them up.
All right, everybody.
As you see, Fearon holds up a bag, and as it's like open in his hand, there's just like lights coming out of it as there's all the remaining cartridges.
Wait, you got all those cartridges this whole time?
Yeah, I mean, they go with the sword, right?
Yes. Oh my God. Can I have those?
I slam them on the table. It's gigantic.
Oh my God.
All
All right. I'm
sorry.
looking to my bag.
Were we given access to go back to the library if we wanted?
Yes.
Then I would say.
Yeah. Right now you have free access.
Even
to
if
the
we have
library
some,
of
if we have
Academy.
downtime, there was some books I wanted to ponder in the academy. Maybe could provide useful for some information.
So here's the thing. We want to do some research in addition to, and that might lead to business ventures. What I mean is I can learn more enchantments, and that might allow us to make items that we can sell for money. We can keep performing. We can find other jobs. It depends on where we want to invest our time with what we have going forward. So,
Well, we do have the job of that murder. I'm not sure where it left off, but I mean, there was a lead that we never followed up on before we left. Should we try and get that done, or should we just look for different work?
I mean, there is no guaranteed reward with that murder. It was simply something to help elevate the name of our previously unnamed group.
They were gonna put us in the newspaper, right?
Right. And actually, to that point, you remember my friend Reardon I spoke to last night?
Yeah.
I set him up. Not set him up like that, but I asked him to do some investigating for us. He's been staying in the Lighthouse District, given the low property values, he says, looking around the group like,
Yeah.
Thank you, Fern. And given he's in that area, and we knew about the potential eyewitness, that putting 3 and 6 together, I got 9. Given this large amount of children that ran around that place when we were there last, I figured he could do some investigating and try to find this eyewitness. Omar, I believe his name is.
Okay, that sounds great. So,
Thank you.
why don't I go with Bruce? I could help him with this research, and then he could show me how that sword works, and then we can maybe go to his paper friend and make some business cards.
I don't have a paper friend, by the way. I've seen it be made before. You just need a stamp. Just carve out a stamp for each of us and boop.
So we'll go buy a stamp, and then we'll spread our name around this entire town.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to draw on it, and you can make one.
Great. Show me your ways, Mr. Businessman.
I didn't last in marketing, by the way.
Better than not taking a marketing at all.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we're just gonna wait on the when we hear back from him, and I guess we'll just do what we need to.
What I'm hearing is we're our selection for what's next is downtime.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and finish your thought there, Bruce.
And Fear, we might need you to maybe fight in the pits every so often, just for quick cash.
Every Wednesday. You know I'll be there. Wednesdog.
I'll suit you up for it.
Shannon.
I
saw you unmuted.
Yes.
Damn,
Discord gave me away. I mean, if we're looking for cash, I can ask around the sailors and see if there's anything. Boxes need to be moved or whatnot.
Maybe you could join our fishing
deals.
friends. You remember,
Actually,
Right. Yes, I do. I know exactly who you're talking about. Yes.
Savior Gallio and Camilla and Arthax. Remember that little noob?
I do. Yes, I do. Yes. But I'm
Saskia, if
Yeah.
you'd like, I have some business I need to see to, and I could use a extra pair of eyes.
Is that a pun? C2?
Nope.
It is now.
Nope.
I'll go with you. Yes.
All right.
Bye.
I guess I'll see you later.
I guess if you guys are splitting up here, Septimus, what are you doing?
Oh, that was good. I say I just wave.
I don't get it.
I'm going to the library.
Oh, that's right. You're going to the library. All right, so we got Bruce and Fearn, who are going to go and look into these business cards as well as the sword potentially. We have Septimus going to do some library research. We have Sass and Jaquet going to do some shadiness. Some
Shady
thing.
shit.
Excellent. So we have our downtime. I'm going to say we're going to do a standard downtime of 5 days. So there's other things you can potentially accomplish within those 5 days. So that'll take us into early next week. I will say, as you're all having this conversation and all of you split up and walk away, Septimus, you open up that flyer and you look down and you see the reward. 15,000 silver.
Wow.
And that's where we're going to end.
Yeah. Excellent. Well done.
As you're all like, I can scrape together 10 silver here. I can scrape together 40 silver here.
Yeah.
But of course, all of the same concerns still stand. It's a long excursion.
Yeah.
It is on the sea. It is to an unknown land. Of course, all of that. But what's a dangerous quest past the seas to an unknown land without massive reward? All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We're going to send a raid on over to somebody in the community. We're going to send a raid over to someone I haven't seen on here in a while, just because I want to. Talon and Claw are streaming tonight.
Oh.
So we're going to send a raid on over to them. They create really awesome wood products for TTRPGs, like DM screens, dice, a whole bunch of stuff. So send them some love from us in Paradise, and we will see you all soon. I will be streaming this Thursday. We'll most likely be doing Baldur's Gate again, but if not, if for whatever reason Josh is not around,
Michael
will take his place.
Michael will take his place.
Michael will take Stats's place.
What we'll also probably do at some point, since we are going to be possibly taking up a new quest, is I do need to finally paint Fearn and Sass. And finish up Bruce, because he could use a few details. So join me on Thursday for some hangout time, some relaxing in Paradise. Join Shannon and I on Sunday for the Sean and Shannon. Oh, I not know something's happening.
No, I'll be away for a wedding.
So
Actually, I might be back in time.
So join me and maybe Shannon and maybe one of these guys to do a recap, and to talk about what's coming next. And then join us again next Monday at the same time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, for Adrift and Aldhalor for our little downtime session, and maybe a little more within that downtime session, depending on what folks do. All right. Thanks for hanging out, folks. We'll see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.